partying with Diplo and you're talking about how much you hate Jason Nash and how poor Jason Nash is. Guys, comment below if you found this relatable.
But if you think about it, though, from 18 to like what, 23, 24.
Oh, he was hitting it
He never drank. I don't think he ever drank. Even when we would visit him, we'd be up till like midnight just like watching the edits, just like,
wow, he worked hard for 5 years? Let the man party, dude. Please do not burden David's poor gentle soul with your financial woes. Just let the man play pool and play with him, for God's sake. I mean, look, I don't doubt that he worked hard. The dude posted 3 vlogs a week. I'm sure it was a lot of hard work, but you know who also worked hard? Everybody in his vlogs. I mean, that dude just said it himself. They all stayed up with him until midnight watching the edits to make sure they were good. This was a group endeavor. And I know what people say. They say like, well, David gave them the opportunities, you know? He didn't have to make them famous. Yeah, he kind of did. That was like the whole point of his vlogs, was his friends. David wasn't just making them famous because he was a good, generous guy. He was doing it because that's what was working. They made him famous as much as he made them famous.
Now it's like the complete opposite. Everyone's like working, and here's him just like, hey, what are you doing tonight? And it's like a Tuesday night. Everyone's working.
Yeah, man, that is kind of a crazy switch. Whereas before, David was working and everyone was helping him. Now everyone else is working, so naturally David is partying with Diplo. Naturally, a lot of the conversation around Jason's live streams has revolved around the confusion as to why he wouldn't just get like a normal job if he was strapped for cash, or if like the social media thing wasn't working out.
Can someone make Jason Nash a fucking DoorDash account?
People are wondering, why is he pursuing this career that is like universally seen as embarrassing or cringe, rather than just getting a 9-to-5? And I totally get that criticism, because I do love being a creator. I love getting to be my own boss. I love being creative on a daily basis, working with people that I'm really inspired by, entertaining people. But if this exact version of being a creator stopped being feasible, would I start doing GIF streams on TikTok? Hell no. And not even necessarily because it's like embarrassing or cringe. It's just that like what I enjoy about being a creator, that does not accomplish. There's no being creative. There's no entertaining people. At a certain point, you like strip out all of the fun parts of the career and you just have only the most superficial parts of it left. Just money and fame. So no, if like this YouTube channel didn't work out anymore, there's a billion other things I would rather do that would be more enticing to me than like GIF streaming on Twitch. But maybe Jason likes it. He doesn't look like he does, but maybe he does. On the other hand, I could say that Jason is also older. He's lived a lot more life, he's had a lot more experience, and his career in the entertainment industry has gone through a lot more ups and downs than mine has. From what I can tell, Jason has been a stand-up comedian, he's been in TV shows, he's been a podcaster, a Viner, and a Vlog Squad member, and now a TikTok live gift battler. Between all of those seasons of his life, I'm sure there was downtime where he could have thought, oh, maybe this isn't for me, I'm gonna get up and go get a normal job. And then, lo and behold, the next opportunity comes along. So in some sense, I do understand if Jason's mentality is like, maybe I'm just gonna do this for a little while until I get my next thing off the ground.
And I know that when I started Vine, people said the same thing to me. They're like, what are you doing? Why are you doing Vine? You know? And I was like, okay, this is what I'm doing. And then I did YouTube, and people are like, why are you doing YouTube? And I feel like when you're first to something, that can really pan out.
Yeah, I do get what you're saying, but also I don't know if this is the same as Vine and YouTube. Saying he's the first to this new thing like TikTok gift battling is gonna be the next big thing is very worrying to me. Please don't make that the next big thing, guys. On top of all that, there is this sort of like gamification in your head that happens when you're a content creator. Because so much of it is like numbers based, you're always looking at your analytics, hoping your numbers go up. It becomes kind of a game in your head to see. What's going on with hypnotism? On one hand, I've heard it's real, and I've seen some incredible videos of people like forgetting their own names under hypnosis.
What's your name?
But on the other hand, if it is real, I feel like we're all very nonchalant about that fact. Like there are just people out there that can take over your mind for a little bit. How does that work? I especially want to know, what's it like to be the person getting hypnotized? Give me an interview with the person who just forgot their own name. What happened to you? Anyways, I'm gonna try to get hypnotized like 3 different ways to find out if hypnosis is real and what it feels like. Y'all wanna come? Good, because I actually already did the first one. I found this YouTube video called Can I Hypnotize You in 30 Seconds? And I thought that sounds quick to do. So I just did it right before I filmed this intro.
Have you ever wondered, could I be hypnotised? Am I the sort of person that's susceptible to mind control? Well, it's not mind control, it's just thinking about things. And sometimes the things we think about are the things that happen. So if you want to try something, all you need to do is get your hands, put your hands together like this, and clasp them together like that. Now take your index fingers and put them parallel. And just focus your eyes on that gap between the two fingers. Just focus your eyes really strongly on the gap. And as you do that, imagine that the ends of your fingers are like magnets. And the magnets are getting stronger and stronger with every second. And the more that you imagine that the magnets are pulling your fingers together, the stronger they become until your fingers can get closer and closer. And if they are moving, if they're closing together,
that's weird.
I can show you how susceptible you are. If they're not moving, maybe that's because you're trying really hard to make it not.
No, they're already together.
Keep imagining that those magnets are pulling them together.
They already are together. All right, well, I guess that worked. I don't know, is that hypnotism? Is that what hypnotism is? It kind of just felt like my fingers just wanted to be together, like when you hold them like this, they naturally do that. Do they just naturally do that? No, I guess I can hold them like this just fine. Okay, well, dang, maybe I got hypnotized that quick. The second type of hypnosis is hypnotherapy. I always kind of just assumed hypnosis was fake until I talked to a family member who said they got hypnotized to stop smoking. But apparently there are hypnotherapists all over the place who are more than happy to hypnotize you for a wide variety of things, like addiction, phobias, throat lump issues. Bad karma won't go away. These are real ones from actual hypnotherapist websites. As for myself, I'm hoping to get hypnotized to cure my lifelong battle with my nails. I've bitten my nails as long as I can remember. I hate it. Laura hates it. I bite my nails so much I chip my tooth. So hopefully this guy can fix it or at least replace it with like a healthier habit like smoking. I really want this to work, so I've intentionally like not looked up much about hypnotherapy because my instincts tell me it's one of those things that you have to like fully buy into, and I don't want to read something that makes me doubt it. So the only thing I know right now is that I'm going to be paying $450 over 2 sessions to get hypnotized via Zoom. Okay, so for privacy reasons, I can't actually show the hypnotist in the video or play his voice, but I'm gonna describe best I can what happened in this call. To my surprise, he kind of spent the first few minutes just giving me basic nail biting advice that has nothing to do with hypnosis. He recommended I get a nail file, pick 1 day a week that's my nail care day. He also said I should meditate because that would help with stress and reduce my nail biting on its own. And he taught me a self-hypnosis that I can do anytime I feel the urge to bite my nails from here on out. And then the last thing he told me before he started hypnotizing was that he highly recommends I listen to the recording of our hypnosis session every night before I go to sleep. And with that, it was time to be hypnotized. For this portion, he actually hung up the Zoom call and then called me on a regular phone call. I don't know if he just like didn't want the visual distraction of him on the screen or if he wanted to like put on pajamas or something. He started by trying to get me as relaxed as possible, focusing on different areas of my body from head to toe and imagining that they were getting heavier and heavier to the point where my body felt like it was sinking into the couch. And I'm guessing this is the point where I'm supposed to be like fully in a hypnotic state, because from here on out, he basically tells me this kind of inspirational, energizing story that's gonna change my mindset around my nails. I followed his instructions, imagining my body dematerializing an array of light that shines around me, protecting my teeth and my nails. And I rode the ray of light to a peaceful beach, where I laid with a different version of myself lying on either side of me. On my left was the version of myself who bites my nails. On the right was a calm, cool, and confident version of myself with absolutely pristine nails. This was all a very peaceful and relaxing experience. I never did worry that somebody else had control over my mind, but I did have doubts as to whether I was really being hypnotized. It was a pretty long time that my eyes were closed, and I had a hard time paying attention for that long, so I'd catch myself thinking about other stuff, and then I'd be like, oh no, this is gonna ruin the hypnotism. And there were a few times the hypnotist did this alarming thing where he would just whisper a command like this. He'd be like, and now you're going to stop biting your nails. Anyway, all I had to do from here was I'm fucking cured, man. That night, I tucked myself into bed and listened to the hypnosis recording as instructed, which did feel a little silly given that the session had only ended like 30 minutes ago, but hey, maybe getting hypnotized back to back will make the effects even stronger. Again, I did feel very relaxed during this recording, but I still didn't know if I could say I was hypnotized. Good night. The next morning, however, I did notice that I wasn't really biting my nails or really even looking at them. Maybe it was just in my head, but they looked hard, like actually unpleasant to bite. Was I really hypnotized last night, or was I just discovering the placebo effect? I don't even care. I squealed with delight and got to work, filming for a different video I'm working on right now, enjoying my new non-nail biting self. Oh wait, what the hell? Did I just bite my nail? Damn it. Well, good thing I was filming when I did it. Shit, I bit my nail. Damn. Well, that's obviously not great. Man, I was really optimistic this morning that it actually worked and I was hypnotized, but then I stopped paying attention for 1 second, and I'm not just having the urge to bite my nails, but I already bit it? How am I supposed to stop biting my nails if my body just does it without even asking first? I'm worried now. I feel like I was just living an illusion this morning, and none of it worked. I just pulled the bottom card out of a house of cards and the whole thing just tumbled over. Maybe I am a nail biter and I always will be. And on top of that, I'm dumb for spending $250 on this. And on top of that, I'm ugly. Doesn't have to do with my nail biting. I just feel really down on myself right now. I did do the self-hypnosis that he taught me right afterwards. Again, still not exactly sure that that's hypnotizing me. I'm gonna continue doing everything I was supposed to do, listening to the recording, doing the self-hypnosis as needed, and meditating, and hopefully this was just a glitch, and everything's gonna be fine. To my surprise, something did seem to change after this. The next few days, I did have a few instances where I lifted my hand to my mouth just out of muscle memory, but I caught myself right away, and after day 4, I wasn't doing it at all. I was listening to the recording every night, following the hypnotist's advice and taking good care of my nails, and they were actually almost starting to look normal. I had my second session with the hypnotist, which ran me another $200. Luckily, this portion of the video is sponsored by SoFi, who's here to keep us all on top of our finances. The hypnotist checked in on my progress. He said I was doing great, in fact, better than most people he works with at this stage, which I don't know if that's necessarily a good sign. During the hypnotism, I had trouble concentrating again. I guess I just couldn't stop thinking about how SoFi is the ultimate finance app that helps you bank, borrow, and invest all in one place. Not to mention, they've just launched SoFi Plus, America's most rewarding financial membership, all in one app. This time, the hypnotist led me through a story where I was attending a meditation retreat led by the Dalai Lama in Central Park. That sounds expensive. I must have been using SoFi Plus. You see, you can unlock more than $1,000 in value with qualifying activities in banking, spending, investing, and more, with exclusive perks that help you over time. That includes unlimited access to SoFi's wealth financial planners who help you make a plan and stick to it. Plus, members with a new or existing SoFi checking and savings account also unlock up to 3.8% APY on bank savings balances. That means you're earning 9 times the average national rate on your savings. At that rate, you'll earn more interest in 7 weeks than you would in 1 year in a big bank savings account. That's why SoFi Plus isn't just smart, it's how you make good choices. So head on over to SoFi.com/Danny, scan this QR code, or click the link in the description to learn more about how you can get your money right with SoFi Plus. Thanks to SoFi for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out SoFi. After 7 days, I was doing so well, I decided I could stop meditating and listening to the recording every night. I mean, it kind of seemed like I was done biting my nails. Surely I didn't even need those anymore, right? You guys, it's been 30 days and I haven't bitten my nails once since that first time. Peekaboo! Kind of a crazy way to reveal my nails. Look, now just because I stopped biting my nails, does that 100% mean that I for sure got hypnotized? No, honestly, no, I don't think it does. Honestly, I think it's possible that I was hypnotized, but I'm leaning towards I don't think so. Honestly, I kind of feel like it was all the other advice on top of listening to that very inspirational, albeit non-hypnotizing recording every night that actually made the difference. At the end of the day, maybe I didn't need to get hypnotized to stop biting my nails. Maybe I had it in me all along, which is kind of inspirational and also makes me feel like shit in a way, because then it's like, why didn't I just do this earlier? Regardless, I am still open to the possibility that I was in fact hypnotized. I feel like if I can get hypnotized by the stage hypnotist, then I'll know for sure what being hypnotized feels like, and then I'll know for sure if I was hypnotized back then too.
Hypnosis is a state of focus without much awareness of peripheral noise. You're concentrated on one thing and the world kind of slips away.
This is stage hypnotist Chris Jones. He's been on America's Got Talent. He's performed all over the world for over a decade. So if anyone's going to be able to hypnotize me, it better be this guy. Also, the GoPro on my head died the second we started getting hypnotized, so don't get your hopes up for any shots from this camera. All right, fine, you can have this one, but that's it. Chris suggested that this would be a lot more fun with a group, so I got some friends together and we all sat down for a night of hypnotism.
I want to know your opinions, and don't worry about hurting my feelings at all. I want to know if you think hypnosis is real, shenanigans, you need more evidence.
Yeah, I believe it's real. I don't like saying this in front of you, like a harder wall for myself, because I feel like that's a challenge and that makes me like kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah, I would say I think it is probably real sometimes.
I think in general I'm pretty skeptical of like supernatural stuff, but I don't know, I really do kind of believe hypnotism.
I really want to be hypnotized, but I feel like maybe it won't work on me. But I hope it does.
Before we got started, Chris allowed some time for us to ask him questions about what was about to happen. Like whether all of us would get hypnotized or just some of us.
I've done this in 50 states and 10 countries. I can hypnotize 25% of any given audience. So 1 or 2 people are gonna get hypnotized today. And it might be the camera person. I don't know. I really, honest to goodness, don't know.
We also asked if he could tell if someone was really hypnotized or just faking it.
When your head is up, we can tell. People hypnotized look like they've had a few drinks, or they're gonna look like they've been riding a car with Scooby-Doo and Willie Nelson for a couple hours. They're gonna look real relaxed, okay?
For a second I was like, so like they look like Scrappy?
We also noted that Brian seemed to be the one who believed in hypnosis the most, and he was also maybe the most nervous about what was going to happen.
Well, what are you gonna do to me?
That's a good other question. Like, what are you gonna do to me if I get hypnotized? Honest to goodness, I don't know. I'm gonna put my hand over all of you and tell you who I think is most likely to get hypnotized. I'm pointing in the direction of the person who I think is most likely to get hypnotized. Now, you won't see the induction often on TV or podcast or even movies, because this next part, if you watch it in its entirety, it could hypnotize people. So they're gonna cut it up a little bit so folks at home don't get hypnotized while driving a car. So you put your hands together for me like this.
The induction lasted a few minutes, and just like the hypnotherapy, it seemed to involve getting us really relaxed.
So there's different strategies getting someone hypnotized. I have you focus on my voice and your breathing. So take a gentle breath in.
And it seemed to rely really heavily on using our imagination. Like he had us imagine that our fingers were pulling together with magnets.
And you can whisper the words to yourself or out loud. The word is magnets. 1, 2, 3, magnets. And then I see who's the best candidate. The best personality, people have a great imagination. Imagine I put a 10-pound brick into that empty palm. So your palm just starts to get more heavy. And then I make them drop and sleep all the way down, every muscle and every nerve. Allow your eyes to open. Breath in, slowly, gently, 1, 2, and 3, eyes open. Yes, so we understand. You can see like a before and after. You see their faces getting a little bit of that drunky or like stony look to them. Brian, of course. Yeah, what's happening? What are you feeling? Tell us your wife, because you are a great candidate for hypnosis. I can totally tell. You are there. Danny's there as well. I just want you all to interact in a moment, but what are you feeling right now?
I'm just hanging out with the crew.
Is there anything that he could do or wouldn't do that'd be like, holy cannoli, this, my husband, my partner for life, is in a different headspace?
Jeez. I don't know. I was hoping this wasn't going to happen. I wouldn't be put on the spot like this. I don't know. What would he not do?
For whatever reason, we couldn't seem to come up with a single thing that Brian would never do off the top of our heads. I guess that's just a testament to what an insane dude Brian is. Whatever the reason, all this uncertainty seemed to pull Brian out of his hypnotic trance. So Chris quickly moved on to his next target.
Thank you, Brian, of course, and sleep. Relax and let go from the top of your head to the very, very bottom. Your feet relax, every muscle and every nerve and every fiber in your body. In a moment, I want you to picture and feel in your mind's eye that you again are holding on to a helium balloon. So make that right fist strong now. Make a fist and let that balloon I tie after your wrist pull higher and higher towards the ceiling. It's gonna extend now. Let that entire arm extend up towards the ceiling. Focus on nothingness but that feeling of lightness now. 3 numbers, you're gonna open your eyes, but your arm is stuck. Cement to cast iron in that position. You can't get your arm down. That's just the crazy shit. That's just how it's gonna work for the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes. Your arm is stuck until I unstuck it. Eyes open.
Character is actually lesbian, and at the beginning of this movie, MGK explains how like she hates boys, but she lives with all these boys, and so she's moving out, which MGK explains right after he forgets his line.
It's in rice.
Come on, you got it, dude. You wrote the movie, you should know it.
Please don't move out.
Yes, he did it! He remembered. It's a pretty long line, I'll cut him some slack. Throughout the beginning of the movie, they're constantly introducing new characters, and every character in this movie has some kind of weird quirk. This friend like did too many drugs at a music festival and now he's kind of loopy. This guy is always throwing water balloons at people. This guy like smokes a lot of weed. It seems like MGK wrote this movie with just a bunch of crazy weird characters because the only like joke that he can think of to put in this movie is another character saying something weird or dumb and him just kind of looking at them being like, that was kind of weird or dumb.
Mercury is in Everglades.
It's retrograde, Leo.
Every time he introduces a new character, there's narration that explains what the weird quirk about these characters are.
This is Angel. Meet Maxine Goldberg.
But they kind of don't like explain really what I want to know about these characters.
This is Dylan. I met him when he was working at In-N-Out and he used to hook me up with free burgers and shakes. He's been my boy ever since.
We don't care that he used to work at In-N-Out. That is so irrelevant. Please tell us why he's so sick. Why is he throwing up and passing out? That's more interesting. The reason that London Clash is so rich and cool that he lives in Rice Gum's house is that he is an actor. So throughout the movie, he's doing actor type things. Like he films this self-audition tape. I don't really know what he's auditioning for. It kind of seems like he's auditioning for everything and also nothing all at once.
Okay, this is my impersonation of Draco Malfoy. Looking for drugs.
Where's the pot, Potter?
I don't like Draco very much.
Honestly, this scene is pretty sad. I felt bad watching it. They don't explain what he's supposed to be auditioning for in this self-tape, but whatever it is, Jake Novak has a better chance of getting the role.
I want to be the next SNL cast member.
Now here's where the movie prevents the second conflict. That's right, this movie has 2 conflicts. The first is he gets that text with the typo, but the second is that today he has the biggest audition of his career. And no, it wasn't that self-tape audition. I guess they just kind of threw that in for goofs. He's auditioning to be the next Batman.
I'm still waiting to hear from my agent about this Batman role.
So, throughout the movie, London is faced with 2 equally important problems. The first, he has to prepare for the most life-changing, career-making audition of his life. And the second is that he's having a little bit of trouble getting a hold of his girlfriend. The stakes can't get much higher than this, folks. But Danny, can't he just prepare for the audition and then try to get a hold of his girlfriend later that day or tomorrow at the latest? No! They could be dead tomorrow, especially that one guy. He could die any second. They have to do both of them today. This movie kind of feels like a Lele Pons YouTube skit from like 2017, but instead of like 10 minutes long, it's an hour and a half long. From the sound effects to the uncomfortable silence between every spoken line in this movie.
Why would you give me goat milk?
I watched an interview. You said you like goat milk.
I can't tell if they're using the awkward silence for like comedic effect to like really hammer home that like, these guys are kind of weird. Or if the silence is more just because nobody knows their lines very well. There's another option that they edit in all these pauses in the movie because we're supposed to be laughing at the things that they're saying in the movie. So they added in nice little pauses for us to laugh.
She left with a dude?
A buff dude. And they had bags. And yes, they left together.
In fact, it kind of feels like, have you ever seen people who have edited The Big Bang Theory so that it doesn't have the laugh track to show how like bad all of the jokes are?
Who are you?
Oh, I'm Denise, the new assistant manager.
That's kind of what this movie feels like.
Are your eyes all watery?
Because I'm high.
That's way better. Bazunga. It's so fitting that this movie feels like a bad YouTube video from 5 years ago, because I'm pretty sure they filmed this at Rice Gum's old house. Did something happen in that house? Is there like a curse? 100 years ago, one of Hollywood's earliest YouTubers died in that house, and now all the content that's created there is cursed to be mad disappointing. Okay, so now they got to investigate what's happened to Apple. London's phone is broken, so he can't contact her, so the only thing he can do is go looking for her. So he goes to the last place she was seen and talks to Pete Davidson.
Did you see Apple? Yeah, she was just here like 2 minutes ago.
Did she say where she was going?
You know what? She did. She actually... No, are you fucking crazy? You guys never talk to me. I mean, the only reason you know my name is because it's on my name tag. Right there. B-E-R-R-Y. Barry.
Pete Davidson feels like he's not really invested in this movie at all. He breaks the fourth wall a little bit too much in this movie. He reads his name tag like he's making fun of the fact that it doesn't say Pete Davidson. He's like, Barry? That's not my real name. My real name's Pete. It's funny because I'm very clearly Pete Davidson and not some guy named Barry who works at a valet stand. There's also a scene later on in the movie where he looks directly into the lens of the camera. I think they could have cut that out. Well, talking to Pete Davidson, sorry, Barry. It's just so funny that he's pretending to be Barry. Talking to Barry didn't get him any leads, so I guess that means now it's time to go to his audition. No, sorry. Sorry, he breaks into Apple's house to find clues?
Find clues, please.
Find clues of what? What might she have left lying around that would indicate whether she made a typo this morning or not? They find a bag of her fingers? She was missing her fingers this morning. That's why she fucked up the tags. Oh. We should probably call the police, right?
I'm not breaking into my girlfriend's house. Can't believe I'm breaking into my girlfriend's house.
Me neither, dude. Your life is pretty crazy. London Clash is so dumb. He makes the worst decisions at every move in this movie, okay? While they're in Apple's house, one of London's friends knocks over every single urn on the mantle, and ashes go everywhere. And so they're like, oh shit, we have to put back the urns and then refill the ashes. But they're like, the only problem is, where are we supposed to find ashes? Where are we gonna find enough ashes to fill up these urns? But like, they didn't lose the ashes. They all just fell on the floor. They could just sweep them up and put them back in urns. It's like MGK was like constantly forgetting what previously happened in movies, and so the plot is being driven forward by things that just aren't problems. So anyway, as I said, this is a stoner comedy. You can probably guess the solution they think of to produce a bunch of ashes to fill back up the urns. Yep. They're gonna smoke a bunch of weed. Bunch of weed. This movie's crazy. They're gonna smoke a bunch of weed. Well, at least this dumbass plan that doesn't make any sense is gonna result in like some crazy shit happening, right? Something funny's bound to happen now, right? Wrong. They just spend like 10 minutes having a boring ass smoke session on the couch. And then one of them tries to talk to a lobster. They really sat around writing this movie and were like, what's the craziest thing that could happen while we're high? And then settled on talking to a lobster. You know, since weed is legalized in a lot of places like California, where they filmed this, I feel like stoner comedies aren't nearly as like interesting or edgy as they used to be. You know, smoking used to be kind of like a fringe culture. It doesn't really feel like this is like, it's like that crazy or funny anymore. This is a scene of 4 adults sitting around a living room and obeying the law.
Why did you spell it like that?
It's a typo.
Oh my god, it was a typo all along? Who would have guessed that? So I guess now the movie can end now, right? The movie can't end now, right? The movie can end now, right? There's 30 minutes left in this movie? What the fuck is gonna happen? What are they gonna do for 30 more minutes? Sit at a diner, apparently. So you're probably wondering how they wrap this whole thing up, huh? MGK missed his audition, he's not getting the role. His girlfriend is pissed off at him. How are they gonna wrap this movie up? Some sort of grand gesture that wins over both the director and the girlfriend? No, obviously not. That would make too much sense. London Clash gets the role because the director happened to see an Instagram live stream where London Clash gets punched in the face by Dennis Rodman, and the director just assumes that London Clash did that because he wanted to like impress him or something. It's a whole other plot line that I didn't really go into in this video, but it doesn't make any sense in the movie either. So he's got the role, now the only thing left is to get the girl, which he does by sending her a text at the diner being like, can we talk? And she's like, sure. And so they're driving to meet each other. He's texting her the whole way. He's texting and driving, and they get into a car crash, and then they are both paralyzed. That face says it all. That just happened. That's the resolution. He almost murders her. Irresponsible. He was texting and driving and he almost murders his girlfriend, and that's how it ends. After the credits roll, there's like a fun little blooper reel where we get to see the actors like messing around and not knowing their lines very well, which would have been a lot more fun if I hadn't felt like I had just watched an hour and a half of exactly that. Well, folks, what do you think? From rapper to pop punk icon to writer, director, and actor extraordinaire, which do you think MGK did best? Leave it in the comments down below. What do you think he'll get up to next? It's anyone's guess at this point. Professional fencer? Or maybe like a chef? He'll start just making food. That might be kind of sick. And you know what? All he would need to get started is HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit and the sponsor of this video. Guys, I love HelloFresh. They send you fresh, quality produce from the farm to your door in less than a week, so you can savor delicious summer flavors right from home. I love getting a HelloFresh box because you know what it means? It means I don't have to worry about what I'm gonna eat for dinner every night. I'm not gonna find myself driving to some fast food chain to get a quick meal, because I know I've got a quality meal that I can whip up in like 35 minutes right at home. And I know it's gonna be tasty. I know it's gonna be healthy. If you're trying to stick to a particular health goal, HelloFresh has you covered because they have veggie options, fit and wholesome options, and pescatarian options. So HelloFresh fits a variety of lifestyles. Their plans are super flexible. You can pause 1 week if you want to. You can add more food 1 week if you want to. And even if you're on vacation, you can change the delivery address to deliver to your vacation destination. And then you can have home-cooked meals when you're at the family reunion. HelloFresh is the very first carbon-neutral meal kit company, and nearly all of their packaging is recyclable. They help cut down on food waste because they send you pre-portioned ingredients so you're only using what you need. So if you want to check out HelloFresh and have a flavorful summer, then head on over to HelloFresh.com. Use my code TrulyGreg16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 surprise gifts. That's HelloFresh.com. Thanks to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video. Thank you to you guys for checking out HelloFresh. Now I'm going to do the outro of this video. All right, you guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new here and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. Greg is what I call my audience here on YouTube. We're the biggest and happiest family on YouTube. That is a scientific fact. Please do not look it up. Please do not fact check me, because facts don't care about your feelings and I don't care about facts. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye. What's up, Greg, and welcome back to another episode of But Dads Are Back.
You are not the father.
Yay! That's right, this is another installment of everybody's favorite series where I look at really strange ads for mobile games. There's this one that seemed to go viral on Twitter a couple days ago that like everybody's been tagging me in, so I figure, you know what, I might as well bring back the series for an episode to talk about it. This video has 300,000 likes and 8 million views on Twitter, and guess what? I've got beef with them. I have a pretty significant beef with these ads, and I'll explain why, but first, let's just go ahead and watch the ad that everybody's been tagging me in. To be fair, I did have to watch this multiple times for it to make sense to me, so I'm gonna walk you through it. That way, nobody gets lost along the way. So the ad starts out with very little context. It's a woman in a wedding dress, she's crying, and she's taking a taxi home, only to find out that her house has burnt down. Right away, so much backstory that I feel like I'm missing. The first time I watched this, I'm like, are we in the middle of an ad right now? Is this the beginning of the ad? Am I supposed to have watched other ads before this? But rest assured, I've watched a bunch of other ads for this game, and there is no context to be found. There is no explanation, so you just have to accept that this woman is having a very bad day. Then she gets a call from her grandma, and it looks like her grandma comes over to like comfort her for whatever happened at the wedding. I don't know if her fiance like stood her up or died, or if she stood him up or died. While she's being comforted, it also looks like she's holding a picture of herself from the wedding. I don't know what that's about. Maybe it's supposed to be the grandma's wedding photos, and she's showing her granddaughter like, look at how happy I was at my wedding. Aw, your fiance stood you up and died at your wedding? Oh, I'm so sorry, sweetie. Look how happy I was at my wedding, though. Look at all these pictures. See how I'm smiling at all of them? The reason I'm smiling is because my husband was present at the wedding and alive at the wedding as well. I wasn't marrying a present corpse. He was also alive. Does that make you feel better? Are my happy memories making you feel better? Why not? Then I guess to further comfort her, the grandma gives her a house, which I guess would be a nice gift, but the house is in like terrible condition. The grandma just gives her the keys to this like dilapidated shack. I guess it's big, but is that even a nice gift for someone who just went through like a horrible breakup? Hey, so I know that you're really sad that the person you love the most in your life stood you up at your wedding and doesn't want anything to do with you anymore, but you know what would make you feel better? A really big empty house. A house so big that it could be full of like some little kids running around or a little husband running around, but instead it's just big and empty. Does that make you feel better? Why not? Plus on top of that, with how like out of repair this house is, this just seems like a huge burden. I mean, I hope it'll be nice when it's done because it is pretty big, but like, this just seems like so much work. You know, it actually doesn't even look like it's in that much better condition than her original house. Well, sweetie, we know that you really miss your house because it burnt down and that was like the worst day of your life. So we wanted to make you feel better. So as a community, we all pitched in and raised enough money to buy you a second burnt down house. Go on, get in there. So by now the ad is about halfway done, and if you're wondering like, wait, what even is this game? I don't understand how this is an ad for the game, and what is going on? You're not alone. But luckily they take a pause from the story real quick to show us some actual gameplay from the game. And it's just like a home improvement game, like a gardening and fixer-uppy game. In fact, you might notice that it has kind of like a similar vibe to Lily's Garden, which I talked about like, I don't even know how long ago, like a year ago? A year and a half? If you don't remember, Lily's Garden were the absurdly inappropriate ads for a gardening game. They had all sorts of fun ads, like Lily's private time sitting on the washer, Lily pretending that she's pregnant so that her boyfriend will leave her. All sorts of wacky scenarios that they used to market this game that, as far as I could tell, was just about gardening. So hold the absolute F up, Merge Mansion, which is the name of this game. I don't know if I've said it yet. So hold up, Merge Mansion. You think you can just steal Lily's Garden's thing? I'm sorry, but I'm not going to allow this copycat behavior, okay? Sure, I didn't like Lily's Garden ads at the time, or even now. And they also tried to start beef with me by putting my little Nutcracker guy in their commercials next to a dumpster. So really, I shouldn't be defending them at all. But you know what, Merge Mansion? Stop it. It's also just like so over the top for a game about just like home improvement. Is all of this context and backstory necessary? Would this be important to me if I downloaded the game? Would I use this information at all? So I've got an empty spot in my garden. I can either plant a tree or build a statue. Keeping in mind that my fiance did either die or stand me up on my wedding day, I think the choice is actually pretty clear. I'm going back to therapy. Okay, so then the ad takes a drastic turn. What the hell did Grandma do? Huh? It's not clear what they're arresting her for. And they never explain it either, so I'm not sure if it's just like another thing that you're just gonna have to accept you don't know the answer to, like what happened to her fiance and how did her house start on fire? Or maybe it has something to do with the fiance and the house. I don't know. Did she burn down the house? Did she burn down the fiance? I don't know. And there you go, that's the whole ad. He is alive. Oh, rats, Merge Mansion. Just when I think I figured out some of the context of this ad, you go and pull the rug right out from under me. What the fuck does that mean? So, who is alive, first of all? The fiance? I'm going to have to assume that's who they're talking about, which makes me think that I might have been right about them all thinking the fiance died? Is that why the wedding was canceled? And if so, how did they think that he died? How did they think that he died but never saw him be dead? Did he just not show up to the wedding and everyone was like, damn, he must be dead? That's the only reason a groom has never not showed up to a wedding, because he died. So, that sucks. Maybe at first they thought the fiance stood her up at the wedding, but then when she got home to where she and the fiance lived together, the house is burned down. So then they're like, oh shit, he didn't just stand her up. He stood life up. He stood up the rest of his life. Now that's all interesting enough, right? That was a very strange ad, I think we can all agree. But if you scroll down in this Twitter thread, apparently there are other endings to this ad. There are like slight alternate endings that apparently other people have seen. So here's one of them. Instead of saying he is alive, her hand says, I planned this. Which I feel like if we're talking about the whole like fiance fake death thing, like almost means the exact same thing. There's also an alternate ending that has her saying "you're next" on the hand. I mean, all sort of just alluding to the same fact that the grandma did something nefarious and that's why the fiance disappeared, or, you know, she did something wild and wacky and now she's going to jail. I can't wrap my head around why they made these alternate endings. Are they like targeting the different ads to different groups of people? Like this really small change will have a different appeal to different demographics? Okay, so we're thinking that "you're next" will go to the Gen Zers. But for the older crowd, like the baby boomers, we're thinking "I planned this" on her hand. Because old people really like planning. After doing a little bit of detective work on YouTube, I was able to find, like, I guess the production company or studio or something that makes these ads. Okay, so that ad is about having a threesome. Does the game, I just want to know, does the game have anything to do with these ads? This home improvement game? I can't imagine it does. Okay, so now I'm out in the garden and here's a bush. What do I want to do here? I can either water bush, cut bush, have sex with two people hiding in bush. It's interesting that this is like the studio that makes these ads because they have a little description. Merge Mansion, a hit game from Metacore, needed 3 different ads full of warmth, humor, and drama. Warmth, humor, and drama. The simple warmth of finding out your fiance died and that your house burnt down and that your grandma had something to do with it all. They wanted to make films that are distinctive, surprising, and interesting from the first second. Distinctive? Try telling that to Lily's Garden, dude. I'm actually in love with this Twitter thread, though, because once this tweet started picking up traction and a bunch of people started seeing it, everybody started replying with weird ads that they've seen. And, yeah, there's some weird-ass ads out there. I haven't done this series in a while, and it turns out that developers have been going buck wild, dude. That's all I can say. Look at this. Wow. Dude, what a brutal kick. Oh my god. The sound effect and everything. I know that this is a common theme for all of these game ads, but I couldn't even wager a guess as to what this game is about. They're like stranded on an island, maybe? Like a desert island, but also this dude is like doing a little stripper pole dance for this girl. It's this fun new game where a group of people get stranded on a desert island and they have to start a new society, and instead of implementing money as currency, they implement pole dancing and lap dances, weirdly enough, as currency. And instead of jail, you just get punted. This next ad is one of the weirdest things I've ever seen, and I'm not exaggerating. And there's no way you'll believe me unless I just play it, so here you go. Dude, what is this? Stinky fart dragon game? Dragonscapes.adventure. What the hell? What is this? The dragon farts once and the girl laughs and she's like, oh, you like that? You kind of like when I fart? And the girl's like, yeah, I guess it's kind of silly. It's kind of like funny in an immature type of way. And the dragon's like, oh, okay. Well, how about I fart so hard that I break your spine? You like my farts, huh? How about I fucking kill you? Wait, is this the same girl? Dude, it is! Wait, okay, so this ad had nothing to do with dragons, but this is clearly the same girl. She's got the same outfit and everything. Okay, maybe this game doesn't have anything to do with pole dancing or dragons. Is it just about punting this girl? Sending her flying? Okay, so the main object of this game is to wait until this girl's having a good time, see how she's dancing and having fun, or she like thinks that the dragon's fart is kind of funny. Wait until she's having fun, and then you just fucking send her. Oh, wait. In the very last frame, it looks like now she's on an island by herself. So is this like the backstory for how she gets stranded on Stripper Pole Island? She was just having a good time washing her dragon and then she got like farted onto a deserted island? Maybe I'm reading too much into this. Is this even a real game? Wow, that game looks pretty cringe. That game looks so weird. Who would download that? I mean, what do? You're in like colonial times and you form an army of dudes wearing only boxer briefs that can like form together into these sick big weapons, and then you like fight off these other armies? That's crazy. A crazy bad. That looks like a bad game. What is this game even called? Something dumb, probably. What is it? Guns of Glory? That's crazy, man. I would never want to even look at a game like that now that I know the name of it. Oh, look, this looks like one of those like episode type games, like a choose your adventure type thing. She says my fantasy ... and I guess you get to pick. Her two options are spank me master or spank my ass master. Is there a difference? Spank my ass master. Now spank me, master. Anyways, guys, I think that's enough bedads for now. Now it's time for a good ad. Thanks to our sponsor, Sleeper. You guys, let me tell you about today's sponsor, Sleeper. Sleeper is a fantasy sports platform. It's an app that's available on the App Store and the Google Play Store, but it's not just any fantasy platform, it's the best fantasy platform for all of your fantasy football, basketball, and for gamers like me, it's even got esports. The reason I think Sleeper is the best fantasy platform out there is because they've got personality, dude. I mean, look at this app. It's got a sleek, modern design. It's got a beautiful UI, very clean, laid out just right. They've got all the features you're used to in fantasy apps and more. They've got social features like voice and text chat, which means leagues that use Sleeper have more fun. They chat more, they react to moves that happen all season long, and it all comes with 0 ads. If you don't have a group of friends to play with, that's fine because Sleeper just released a matchmaking feature that will help you find the league that's right for you. So if you and your friends want to take your fantasy sports league to the next level, then download Sleeper in the App Store or Google Play. The link will be in the description. Thank you to Sleeper for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out Sleeper. All right, well, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new here and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. We're basically the fastest growing army on YouTube. Please do not look that up, but it is true. All right, well, thanks again for watching, and I hope you guys have a nice rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye. This video is over now. Go find something else to watch, or just watch this video. I know we had a lot of fun, but you can't stay on this end screen forever. This video is over now. So why are you still watching this? All right, I have 2 things to apologize for. 1, this video is definitely gonna come out after Christmas, and 2, sorry I look like such a freaking nerd right now, dude. These glasses. I have an ulcer on my eyeball. Merry Christmas to me. Don't worry, it's not a big deal. It's gonna get better in a few days. I just have to put these drops in my eyes like every 20, 30 seconds. I know this is gonna come out after Christmas because I'm recording this the day after Christmas. But to be fair, like, are modern Christmas movies even really about Christmas anymore? Old Christmas movies used to be like, you know, sweetie, this family is the best Christmas gift a guy could ever ask for. Why, I'm starting to think I won't kill myself after all. Whereas now, Christmas movies just feel like a hodgepodge of cliches that are vaguely related to Christmas. Every Christmas movie now is like, Christmas with the Stinks. What happens when Santa gets lost in a small town just 1 week before Christmas? He's gonna have to spend it with the Stinks. Hey, come on in, we're the Stinks. We like to poop and shit. Also, Santa is a secret agent. And he's got a gun. I have a gun. Starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as every role and filmed entirely in front of a green screen. I have a gun. Netflix presents Christmas with the Farts. Only on Hulu, July 7th. I mean, Netflix's like big Christmas movie they came out with last year didn't feel like a Christmas movie at all. It was a very confused movie about Santa being kidnapped by a witch who like sucks all of his powers up so she can imprison half of the population, which on its face does seem like it could be like a whimsical, fun Christmas movie. I just wish any of the people making the movie realized that, because they all just played it really serious and made it feel like a Marvel movie.
Hey, Fred. Got a 5'11" male grown-up hovering by the scented candles. Keep an eye out.
Yeah, we got a guy maybe stealing 1 candle. Can we get somebody to take him in the back and kick his ribs in? Also, Santa appears to have some kind of deal with the US military. They like escort him around with fighter jets. What does the US military get from this deal? Santa, are you making them bombs? I also feel like this movie does this thing that a lot of Christmas movies do now, where because Santa's whole operation is basically impossible, not, you know, I still believe in Santa. They try to come up with lore that explains it and makes it seem more believable. So like in this movie, instead of Santa's village just being like a dozen elves helping him, it's like an entire city. It's a metropolis. Yeah. Now that actually makes it make less sense. It actually made more sense when it was just magic. Thank you, though. Anyway, I don't really want to spend too long talking about that movie because it's pretty boring. And I also want to talk about the movies that I actually want to talk about. Dear Santa and A Very Jonas Christmas. Dear Santa also came out last year, and the premise, if you can believe it, is that a little boy writes a letter to Santa, but he is dyslexic, so he accidentally addresses it to Satan. And then Satan shows up. And it turns out he's the guy from the Minecraft movie. Yeah, very different kind of idea for a Christmas movie, but in their defense, at least they made him terrifying. Yeah, I don't know what kind of processing they did on Jack Black's face, but he looks very uncanny. I mean, he looks like a video game character. To the point where, like, he might be completely CGI. I don't know if Jack Black knows he's in this movie. And I think that this right here is what might have given me that eyeball ulcer.
Young kid writes a letter to Santa, but he misspells it and it goes to Satan. So Satan, played by Jack Black, shows up at Christmas time and comedy ensues.
Why did they put Jack Black in quotes?
Played by Jack Black.
Does Jack Black know he's in this movie? That's why Jack Black is in this movie that we made about Satan. On all accounts, this movie makes zero sense. I don't know why they made this. A child being haunted by the Lord of Darkness should be the plot of like a horror movie. Is he gonna be like his friend? Are they gonna hang out? Is this gonna be like Gooby but with an evil monster? They already made that movie. It's called Gooby. Now going into this movie for the first time, I knew two things about it. One, that Jack Black plays Satan. And two, that something happens at the end of this movie that is in very poor taste. I was very curious to see what that was, but as the movie progressed, I honestly had a hard time seeing how that could possibly be. I mean, after all, there's so much insane shit in this movie, how could there possibly just be one thing? So most of this movie revolves around Satan trying to get this little child Liam to fulfill a deal in which Liam gets 3 wishes, and Satan gets his soul for eternity, and Liam goes to, and excuse my language here, hell. And in fact, he does eventually fulfill the deal, which leads to this very confusing montage.
What? Why so blue?
Why so blue? I just sold my soul to the devil.
I'm sorry, I'm having a little trouble seeing why him selling his soul to Satan made him cool suddenly. Damn, look at that kid. He's so cool. What's his secret? I'm going to hell. I'm going to hell. So, like, does that lead to the poor taste ending? Is it Liam's parents' marriage falling apart? Is it Liam trying to use Satan to get his crush to fall in love with him? Is it this kid's teeth? Is it him wishing Satan would resurrect his brother from the dead and it happening? Oh, yep, that's it. It's that.
We wanted to make sure that it didn't get too dark. It didn't become a horror movie or anything like that.
I don't know, guys. I think you made it too dark.
We wanted to tell a nice Christmas story.
Yep. It's nothing like Satan resurrecting a little boy from the dead to make you forget this movie had anything to do with Christmas. Also, like, a third of this movie revolves around Liam going to a Post Malone concert to impress his crush. And of course, Satan puts a spell over Post Malone to make him think that he's best friends with Liam. And when I was watching this, I was like, okay, so they must have just like repurposed all of this Post Malone concert footage from an actual Post Malone concert, right? Oh no. No, there's Liam dancing up on stage with him. Damn. They really threw a whole Post Malone concert for this weird ass movie. That's crazy.
And I wanted to bring up probably the most important man to my career and the inspiration for my music.
I am happy for Liam, but I'm concerned for Post Malone here. Bringing a 10-year-old on stage and being like, this little boy is my muse. He's everything to me. Is definitely gonna put a weird stain on his career. Everyone in the crowd is like, yo, this Liam dude sounds awesome. Post Malone has lost his mind, but this Liam kid can dance. Hey guys, it's me, Santa. I probably look a little bit different than you're used to, huh? Probably expecting a guy in a big red coat with a white beard, huh? Well, this is what I actually look like. All that stuff about rosy cheeks and a big white beard is all made up. Coca-Cola made that up in the 80s. I have always looked like this. Anyways, guys, I was just popping in here to thank SoFi for sponsoring this portion of the video. As we all know, one of the simplest and most powerful ways to build wealth is actually by earning interest on your money. Making your money work for you. Just like I make the goblins work for me. Like, that's right, the elves are another thing Coca-Cola made up. They're actually goblins, and sometimes I also hire ghosts. Ah! But here's the thing, when it comes to interest, most banks give you a tiny amount, like a fraction of a percent. But thanks to today's sponsor, SoFi, we're gonna change all that for you, all right? SoFi is a mobile-first finance company helping its members save, spend, borrow, and invest. When you open a SoFi checking and savings account and set up an eligible direct deposit, you earn a competitive APY, and there are no account fees. One thing I do want to make clear is I do still like milk and cookies. So if you're like, oh, this isn't the Santa I know, I'm not gonna leave out milk and cookies. That's the one thing I do like. But I like oatmeal raisin. I'm an oatmeal raisin guy. That means your money's not just sitting there, it's working. Every dollar you earn in interest can earn more dollars in interest. Over time, that's gonna really add up. You'll even get paid up to 2 days early with direct deposit. And you can access additional FDIC insurance up to $3 million on deposits through a seamless network of participating banks. For a limited time, when you open a new high-yield savings account, you can get up to a $300 cash bonus and a 0.7% boost on your savings APY with eligible direct deposit. Terms apply. So start putting your money to work like I put those geese to work pulling my sleigh through the air. That's right, reindeer can't fly. I use geese because they can fly. Head to SoFi.com/Danny, click the link in the description, or scan this QR code to learn more and get started. Thank you to SoFi for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out SoFi. Merry Christmas! I just laugh like that. Now, I got a lot of requests to talk about this Jonas Brothers Christmas movie, A Very Jonas Christmas. And the movie definitely lives up to the title. Almost this whole thing is about the Jonas Brothers. Due to a series of goofy hijinks, they get stranded. And at one point in the trailer, it looks like they even get lost in the woods in Europe. When I watched the trailer, I was like, how the fuck are they gonna get lost in the woods? There are no airports there. So when I first heard about this movie, I was very excited to watch it. I think the only other movie I've ever seen these three brothers in is Camp Rock, and that movie was very easy to make fun of. And I don't really even think they've made many movies since Camp Rock. I mean, on Rotten Tomatoes, Nick's picture looks like it's from like 2013, Joe's 2015, and Kevin's 1978. Also, look at the poster for this movie. Is this about them trying to get home for Christmas or assailing a foreign dignitary to assassinate him? We got Nick in the car, Kevin in the train, and Joe is definitely gonna die up there. Oh yes, there's no doubt about it. This movie is gonna be pretty bad. Let's look at what it's got on IMDb. Oh, a 5.7. Okay, that's actually better than I would have thought. What about Rotten Tomatoes? 92? Wait, it looks like people actually really like this movie. And look at this dad on TikTok. He's losing his mind laughing. Did the Jonas Brothers make a good Christmas movie? On purpose? Okay, so I have watched the movie, and I will say it's better than I thought it was gonna be, but that doesn't mean that it's not insane, because it is still insane. For example, you're probably wondering how the Jonas Brothers got stranded in Europe in the first place. Like, obviously, most people have to deal with, like, holiday travel congestion, but the Jonas Brothers probably fly on, like, a private jet, right? They're not dealing with regular air traffic. It does kind of lower the stakes of the movie a little bit, that they're like, guys, what are we gonna do? We've gotta get home for Christmas. Our kids need us. And their kids are just like, nah, we're good, man. Don't worry about it. We have really healthy attachment, so we're not gonna fret too much about it. Don't do anything too drastic. How about we get lost in the woods and eaten by wolves? Well, that's wild. Is that a thing that Santa does? He casts spells like a witch? Dang, maybe I take back what I said earlier. Hey, come on in, we're the Stinks. We like to poop and shit. No, not that. The thing about the magic. It actually made more sense when it was just magic. Thank you, though. Yeah, that. Don't worry, though. The consequences of his spell aren't anything too crazy. After all, Santa... Did you check to make sure there weren't people on there? Let's have a moment of silence for all the people on that plane that involuntarily volunteered their lives for the greater good. Helping the Jonas Brothers reconnect. I had no idea that when Santa worked his magic, there was so much like death and despair involved. That's crazy. Also, it's a little bit disturbing that I feel like the Santa in this movie has already done worse things than Satan did in that entire movie. Dang, they are really leaning into this ragging on Kevin thing in this movie. Like, damn, I know this is a thing people joke about. I know I've written a whole song about ghosting the guy, but you guys are his brothers, dude. feels different when you do it. Fortunately, music labels have been like very strict about copyrighted music on YouTube, so I can only show you like a tiny little snippet of it. Now, one thing that made it kind of tricky to write a video about this movie is that they do this very self-aware thing where anytime like a goofy plot detail comes up, they make a joke about it before you even get a chance to think it in your head. Wait, they're getting to the train station just barely before their train, but they're gonna stop to sing a song about it? That's kind of...
You think we have time for a song? Yeah!
Oh, they already... Okay. But isn't this whole plot just the plot of a bunch of Christmas movies? Damn, they're good. Who knew the secret to making a flawless movie is just pointing out all the flaws before anybody else has the chance? Honestly, it is a pretty good tactic if your sole goal with the movie was making it really hard for commentary YouTubers to make videos about it. But it does feel very defensive, and it also kind of gets old to, in every scene, be like, yo, this is kind of weird. What is going on here right now? What the hell, is that a camera? Also, there's a lot of parts in the movie that are actually genuinely funny, and they kind of ruin them by doing this like self-aware thing. Like all the lyrics are just about how being home alone means that there's no people in the house. It's a very funny song. Also, I think that YouTube is claiming this one less, so I think I can show a little bit more of it. But even when the movie is actually funny, the writers still feel the need to be like, what the hell are these guys even talking about?
I can't believe the show only ran 3 weeks. I can.
I'm sorry, Joe. Nick is just being so random right now. I mean, what is this? Some kind of movie? On Disney Plus, perhaps? Another downfall of this movie is that it really hinges on you knowing a lot about the Jonas Brothers. I mean, they weren't kidding with that title, dude. This is a very Jonas Christmas. Ideally, they want you to know, like, details about the Jonas Brothers' personal lives that I just am not in tune with. So I felt like I kept missing references. Like, apparently Joe has a line of candles.
I know what you need. A calming chamomile candle. My new line, Glow by Joe.
Also, apparently Nick and Kevin are married with kids, and Joe is divorced? I didn't know that before I watched this movie. So every time they would vaguely reference it, I had no idea what they were talking about.
Got a few bad breaks.
Yeah, it must suck for everybody to know that you have brothers? That's what we're talking about, right? You had 2 brothers and then you got divorced with one of them, so now you just got one, huh? I know so little about their personal lives that in my head, Joe just is his character from Camp Rock. So when I heard that he was divorced, I was like, damn, it didn't work out with Mitchie. You guys were so perfect for each other. So more wacky hijinks happen. I like how the plane is in complete free fall and they don't seem to be affected by the G-force at all. We're going down! Everybody, brace for impact! Oh, fuck! There's this running plot line throughout the movie about how Kevin secretly wants to sing in a Jonas Brothers song, but they never let him and he's too scared to bring it up. But at the end of the movie, they make it home to their families and they're all singing and they finally let Kevin sing. It's a fun moment. It's great to finally hear him sing and it's great that they're finally letting him. But then in real life, I just saw that Kevin just like released his own solo song. So it kind of seems like the opposite happened in real life. In the movie, they're like, yay, Kevin is singing. And in real life, they're like, you have to sing as far away from us as humanly possible, please. Honestly, though, all in all, this movie was a lot better than I thought it was gonna be. I was laughing at parts. I even looked like that dad from that TikTok at a few parts, dude. I was sitting on the couch, kicking my feet. I was giddy. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hate to break it to you, but I don't know, this will probably be my last video of the year. Enjoy your New Year's celebrations, everybody. Stay safe. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye.
What's up, Greg, and welcome back to the Romance Channel, where we cover the hottest romance movies known to man. When you think of the perfect love story, what comes to mind? Passion, lust, destiny, brothers, psychological intimidation, gazebos. All of those? Yeah, all of them? Good. Because today we're talking about The Kissing Booth. I've had this movie recommended to me for a while, and I recently sat down to watch it, and I gotta say, guys, I'm pretty confused. This movie has a completely normal premise, and there's actually nothing wrong with it. It's not weird at all. Guys, don't we all have a best friend? And don't you and your best friend have a written, strict set of rules that you guys follow to maintain your friendship? And isn't one of them, don't fuck my brother? Do not have sex with my brother! Of course, so see, I don't know what the problem is.
Just don't end up grinding coochies with my brother, or I'll literally never talk to you again.
Grinding coochies? What the? Ugh. All right, you know what? Just for that, that's it. I am making the video. The Kissing Booth is a bad movie. This movie starts off with way too much exposition. Instead of a normal movie where you sort of naturally learn about the characters as the story progresses, the movie decides to just dump the main character Elle's entire life story on you in like 3 minutes. Okay, all right, okay. I think it's too much information, right? There's no way all of this information is necessary right at the beginning of the movie. It's not. It's almost all unnecessary information, actually. And by the time I finished watching this intro, I felt like I had already watched like 10 movies. I still have to watch another movie after this. I've watched like 3 people grow up from being a baby. Before the movie even starts, you watch Elle's mom slowly die in the hospital.
Sat with mom in the hospital, said goodbye to my mom.
Damn. Oh, hell yeah. Mom or motorcycle? I think we came out all right on that deal. Did we need to see the mom die? Did that have to happen? They barely reference it in the rest of the movie. Did they have to just rapid fire through that? I guess it gives you a reason in the movie, like right off the bat, to be rooting for Elle, because you've seen her go through some hard times. I guess later on in the movie, if you ever start to feel like she's being an asshole, the movie can be like, hey, well, her mom died, all right? So take it easy with the judging, okay? Pretty much all you need to know from the intro of this movie is that Elle and Lee are best friends. You know because they pretty much have the same letters in their name. And Elle has a crush on Lee's older brother, Noah. Noah is established as being irrationally angry and violent in the intro as well, so what's not to love?
And that's
Hey! Don't fuck my brother! So Elle is clearly infatuated with Noah right from the start. I think we can all see that. Lee can see that. So you might think, damn, they have just a few rules in their friendship and Elle is not able to follow them. What a jerk. And 1, you haven't even seen the half of it, dude. If you think this is bad, what do you think the rest of this movie's about? And 2, easy with the judging, dude, all right? Her mother passed away. I do find it interesting that the rule says, like, no dating either of our relatives. This rule was clearly made just to keep Elle away from Noah. Elle's only immediate family in this entire movie is her dad, who's like 50, and her brother, who was probably like 2 when they made these rules up. Her mother, I don't know if you know this, but she unfortunately did pass away, so she is not in the picture anymore. So did Lee propose this rule being like, hey, so, if you stay away from my brother, then I, a child, won't fuck your dad? Deal? One day while getting ready for school, Elle rips her pants and has to wear the only other option that the uniform allows, which is her skirt, which is a little bit too short for her comfort, and she ends up getting groped by a jock. Luckily, Noah, who we've established as being very violent, jumps in to beat the shit out of the jock.
My little sister's pants, which is super gross.
So Noah is the main love interest in this story, and they start out by establishing that Noah sees Elle as a little sister to him. Pretty interesting. And I do wonder how they're gonna get around that, if he is to be her love interest in this movie. So the reason this movie is called Kissing Booth is because Elle and Lee run the dance club at their school, which they never actually show, but I think it just consists of them going to the arcade and playing Dance Dance Revolution, which, if so, is a sick idea for a club. But their school is having a carnival, and their dance club has to come up with like a fundraiser to do at the carnival. Kissing Booth! Oh, shit! I love how they both say it at the same time. That's such a specific suggestion. It's almost as if they've done this before, and they think of Kissing Booth as like the solution to every problem. Her mom was in the hospital earlier, and Elle's like, damn, if only we could heal my mom with some kind of Kissing Booth! The doctor's like, you two need to get the fuck out of here. Obviously, that was the first thing we tried. Before Elle and Noah can get together, though, we need to find a little bit more out about Noah. Like, who is this main love interest? We know that he's violent, which is awesome. But the movie also has to show us how manipulative he is. You see, it all starts with Elle exploring some other love options at school. For example, the man that groped her earlier. He calls her kiddo? Gross. Lock this man up immediately. You still got a lot to learn, kiddo. Like, for example, how fucking crazy I am. You have no idea. You have no fucking clue. But you're gonna learn today. I'm naked, baby. The Flynns are a very controlling family, aren't they? Like, in Elle's friendship with Lee, he's made all these rules that he has to follow. Like, don't fuck my brother. And now Noah has rules like, don't fuck anybody else. It's an entire family where they're like, hey, who are you gonna fuck? Who is that? Who is that? Don't fuck him. Fuck me. No, don't fuck me. That's not allowed. So the Kissing Booth is coming up, but Elle is having a little bit of trouble getting people to volunteer to work at the Kissing Booth, obviously, because that sounds gross as hell.
Need peeps to work our Kissing Booth.
It seems like she started texting people that don't even go to her school. This guy? This like bald middle-aged man? Is that a teacher? Whoever he is, he thinks that it's hysterical that she would even ask. She's got Abraham Lincoln in here, Frida Kahlo. This girl has quite the contacts list. I do respect Abe for his honesty though. You know, I guess that is what he was known for. But I understand his reservations. He has not had good luck with booths in the past. After a few more uncomfortable scenes of Noah protecting Elle from herself, it's time for the Kissing Booth. Since they're short on volunteers, when it comes time to actually do the Kissing Booth, Elle ends up having to step up to the plate, and Noah, our sweet violent Noah, decides, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going in. Okay, so they didn't get around the whole little sister thing. Cool, very cool. Right on, guys, rock on. They kiss, sparks are flying, literally. Like, the lights on the sign start exploding. It's like this is a moment from Stranger Things when Elle is using all her powers. Lee's like, that's why I made the rule! You've unleashed his powers! No! Where the fuck did he come from? Was he just lurking beneath the sand to jump out?
Don't make me beg.
Ah, she said no! Leave her alone. Noah's a really confusing character in this movie because they kind of portray him as this like popular guy that gets all the girls. Whenever he's not talking to Elle, he's like making out with some other girl or like talking to the popular cheerleader girls or whatever. But he like, other than that, doesn't seem to have any friends or like a social group. The only time he interacts with the other guys in his grade is to threaten them, apparently. For this entire party, before this happens, they just show him kind of like lurking alone in a corner until something happens to Elle and then he goes goblin mode, which apparently she's pretty into.
Oh, wait!
The Hollywood sign at night. You guys ever been to the Hollywood sign at night? Great place to make out. Great place to get eaten by coyotes, too. I feel like a lot of people don't realize the Hollywood sign's like in the middle of a nature preserve. I think there's like mountain lions and shit up there. A coyote comes out from behind the Hollywood sign and is like, fucking by the Hollywood sign again, huh, Noah? This man's got some game. All right, guys, get out of here. I'm gonna have to eat your asses. I love that his secret spot to come and be alone is the Hollywood sign. Yeah, don't worry. I know a little place where we can be alone. It's called Times Square. We'll have a little more privacy up there. From there, their relationship blossoms. They go on dates all over town. They're sneaking around, trying to make sure Lee doesn't catch them.
You really expect me to believe that she just tripped?
How? Okay, so at this point, I don't know what was wrong. It was just like straight up forgetting which contacts it had. It said it couldn't call Laura because it didn't have her contact. Then it said it couldn't call Eddie because it didn't have his contact. Call Eddie Burback.
I'm sorry. I couldn't find a contact for Eddie Burback.
Why not? And you might think, Danny, maybe there was an error transferring the contacts. Maybe it really doesn't have these contacts. But I know it had Eddie's contact, and do you know how I know? Because it could text Eddie. Can you text Eddie Burback?
What do you want the message to say?
Okay, all right. Still not sure if this is gonna work, but finally, thank God it's letting me do something. Hey, Eddie, it's your... Is it...
Cowboy Carter? Time to strike a man.
No, I'm not trying to play Cowboy Carter. Oh god, now it's playing Metro Boomin. Stop.
Anyway, eventually I sent the text to Eddie. It worked. I didn't have any way to know it worked because there's no screen on this device. You can't see what the message you sent said or anything. So I guess you just gotta hope and pray it goes through and accurately transcribes what you said to it, which frankly I am not confident in after the whole lore debacle. Okay. Eddie just texted my actual phone and said, I know you made a video on the pin and I'm positive this is you, but it still feels like a scam, LMAO. I'm too scared to text back to a random number claiming to be my friend. Regardless of scaring my friend, the text went through. This was a huge confident boost. Time to try calling my wife again. Call Laura. What? What is...
Message has been recorded. Record your message after the tone.
Oh, whoa.
Simply hang
No,
up
no.
when done. Or for delivery
Hang up.
options, press the pound sign.
I don't want to play like that. I don't want to play Metro Boomin. Hang up. Am I still recording a message? Cancel. I've been on the phone with her for a minute. Hang up. It was some man being like, I don't want to play like that?
I don't want to play like that. I don't want to play with your boom, man. Hang up. Am I still recording a message?
Okay, well, yeah, I'd say that was a success.
I'd seen a few demos online of Humane's GPS navigation solution. And while it did seem kind of annoying to have to hold your hand up like this the entire time, it seemed pretty doable. As long as they stuck to this, it didn't do anything crazy like, I don't know, going in a completely different direction and making it borderline unusable. So to test it for myself, I drove to a part of town I don't know very well, about a mile away from the nearest Smoothie King with hopes of the pin guiding me to a delicious, delectable treat.
Navigate to Smoothie King?
Head north on South Columbia Street towards East Gardner Road. Turn right onto East Gardner Road, then left onto South Washington Street. Follow South
What?
Washington Street and turn right onto East Chicago Avenue.
It just gave me all of the directions at once. I was not... I wasn't ready for it. What, am I supposed to have a notebook to write that down? Also, sorry for the noise. If you live in Illinois or one of the surrounding states, you know, it's cicada season. It's the year of the cicada, and they're everywhere. Oh. One just landed on my shoe and then got pissed off that I moved. Eventually, I realized if I look at the laser display, it displays the directions, but not like it did in any of the demos. It just gives you a block of text with every single direction written down. If you're in the shade, that is. If you're in the sun, it gives you nothing. Can't see anything. I was very confused by this and thought surely this could not be right. What happened to all those demos? So just to be sure I wasn't missing something, I asked it again, and this time I got an even stranger response. Directions to Smoothie King.
For accurate and up-to-date directions, consider using a map service like Google Maps or a GPS navigation.
What? Can you give me step-by-step walking instructions to the Smoothie King?
For step-by-step walking directions, it's best to use a navigation app like Google Maps for the most accurate and up-to-date route.
I thought you had navigation instructions. What? So now not only was it forgetting things that it could do in the demo, it was also forgetting that it just moments earlier had given me step-by-step instructions. This thing was regressing at a rapid rate, and if I ever wanted to get to Smoothie King, I was just gonna have to use the directions on my hand and go. Okay, well, I guess I'm just gonna use those written out directions, which start with head south on this road, Columbia Street, and I actually don't know which way is south, so I guess I just have to use the sun to try to figure that out. So the sun is directly overhead. What does that mean? Okay, while I'm walking aimlessly, I just got a text from Laura. So I'm gonna use a feature that I've seen them use in the demos where you tell it to catch me up on all my notifications. Tell me what I missed. And it's supposed to like summarize all your notifications. Since I just have one, I assume it's just gonna tell me what Laura said. Can you catch me up?
Your message to Laura Fuexlow says, can you catch me up? Okay to send?
No, I want you to tell me what Laura said. What did she say? Can you tell me what she said?
Finding Laura.
Finding Laura?
Laura asked, okay, hello, what we thinking about lunch?
Oh no, guys. I told Laura that I was having a smoothie for lunch, and now she's saying that she wants a smoothie for lunch too, and I didn't have the heart to tell her that I was just meandering aimlessly down the street with no clear end in sight. And I told her I would get her one, which means I'm on a time crunch now. So that's when I had to kick it into high gear. Walking under the beating sun through a sea of cicada corpses, I trudged, and I trudged. Then I realized I had been walking the wrong way for 10 minutes, so I trudged the other way. And after about 35 minutes, I finally made it. I got my smoothies. Let's go. Let's go. Take a picture of my smoothies. Yeah, I don't know if it took the picture. All right, gang, now that Papa's had his smoothie, it's time for a smoothie-fueled lightning round. Enough about practical functions. Let's see if this thing can have some fun. First, can it do bizarre music prompts? Play music written by YouTubers named Danny. Wow, I don't think my music has ever sounded quite this bad. Yes! Can it detect food like in the commercials? Can I eat this?
Yes, you can eat the mandarin orange.
Yes! Unless it's a tomato and you hold it so I can't see the stem, in which case it thinks it's a red ball.
It's a red ball. No, you cannot eat it.
Oh, what are you, my mother? I'm eating the red ball.
Not safe to eat the red ball. Please reconsider.
Can it prevent me from eating too much salt?
No, you cannot eat the salt directly. It's meant to be used in small amounts to season food.
Yes! Can I buy things like in the demo? What is this book? Okay, by this point I probably just could have read the title.
Titled The Sneetches and Other Stories.
How did it know? Okay, buy it.
Purchasing is not supported.
No! But most importantly, can this AI be sweet to my dog?
You can be sweet to the dog by petting it gently, giving it treats, speaking to it in a calm and soothing voice.
I'm happy to report that yes. Yes, it can. It's a good boy. And here's a treat. Good boy. You know what? Now this isn't so bad. This is just petting a dog. This has nothing to do with the AI pin. Does anyone want to buy this from me? It's, really good. Over the past few months, Mark Zuckerberg has been hopping on the AI bandwagon hard, adding AI features to all of Meta's apps, most notably perhaps in Instagram, where you can't even go to the search bar without Meta's AI trying to suggest searches to you. Sorry, do you think that I came to the search bar because I knew I wanted to search, but I didn't know what for? That's not how searching works. They've also released a bunch of chatbots in Instagram. I like using the word release there because it kind of sounds like a tech product is being released onto the world, but it also kind of sounds like they're unleashing a horde of monsters upon us. They've released the AI chatbots! Oh fuck, that one looks like Mr. Beast! This is really awesome, you know? Personally for me, one of my favorite things about social media is that it started out as a way to connect with each other, but ended up actually making people feel more lonely. So Meta's solution was to use algorithms and manipulate people's emotions to make them even more addicted to the platforms. But then that didn't work either! So now their much better solution is to replace what little human interaction we already got on these platforms with chatbots that look like Mr. Beast for some reason. And I think this is really gonna fix this whole system right up. So I'm very excited to get into these Meta chatbots, but first, I have a very special announcement because this video does have a sponsor, and it is the Pokemon Company International. Guys, this summer in Pokemon Unite is gonna be incredible. You got Ho-Oh sweeping in, and you can snag it for 0 cost. You also have a very cool looking Dark Lord style Charizard Hollowware, which is so cool, and I wish somebody would call me Dark Lord style just once in my life. This summer, you could catch me roaming around the gamer world. My trainer's name is Danky Gonky. Go ahead, hit me up, add me to your squad, let's go and do some battles together. There's a challenge called the Divine Forest Challenge that lets you trade for a Ho-Oh's license, and guys, let me just tell you, Ho-Oh's no joke. Bringing back defeated allies with its Unite move, Rekindling Flame. You got other sick moves like Sky Attack, Fire Spin. You're gonna be unstoppable with this thing. This game is just busting at the seams with gifts, daily free prize machine ball throws that promise a Hollowware treasure. So if you want to hop into the game, click the link in the description, get into the Pokemon world, and make this a summer to remember. Again, click the link in the description to get Unite today. It's totally free to start on iOS, Android, and Nintendo Switch. And now let's talk chatbots. I'm still actually not sure what the point of adding these chatbots into Instagram is, so I asked it, what can you do? To which it responded that it can help in a variety of ways, from helping to plan a vacation to creating art, which is actually kind of a crazy coincidence because those are the exact two things that I would literally never want an AI to do for me. It went on to say that its strengths are answering questions, generating text and images, and just chatting. But at this point, all I could think about was the fact that it told me it could plan a vacation. I thought there was no way it could actually do that. And I was right. Can you help me plan a vacation? I'd be happy to help you plan a vacation. To get started, I'll need to know a few details from you. Here are some questions to consider. Where are you interested in going? How long do you have for vacation? What type of vacation are you looking for? What is your budget for the trip? Are there any specific activities? Do you have any preferences for accommodations? So I'm gonna say I want to go somewhere fun and tropical, a nice getaway for me and the family. I'd like to stay at a hotel for 5 days. With all of this information, it suggested a few tropical getaway locations like Hawaii, Cancun, Phuket. But then it said something that I did not expect. It says it can also help me with booking flights and hotels. How can Instagram book me a flight? I'm calling its bluff. I actually don't think this has the capability to do that because why should it and why would it? So I'm gonna say, okay, book me a flight for next week to Cancun and book the hotel. For flights, I recommend checking out websites like Expedia, Kayak, or directly on airlines websites such as American Airlines, Delta, or United. Yeah, great idea. That's what I would have done anyway. That's like if I went up to an old lady who needed help crossing the street and I said, "Excuse me, ma'am, can I help you cross the street?" And she said, "Oh, thank you, young man, that would be lovely." And then I said, "All right, just put one foot right in front of the other until you get to the other side." And then I gave her a little shove, and I went on my way. Oh, good. It also listed hotel recommendations and then said you can book hotels through websites like link unavailable, or directly to the hotel's website. Thanks. Let me know if you'd like more recommendations or help with booking. Nah, man, I'm good. Okay, so maybe it lied about like the very first thing it said it could do. That could mean that this is a very poorly built tool that doesn't know nothing about crap. But on the other hand, it could mean that this is a very well-built tool that is evil and designed to lie. So I gave it another chance, and and asked it to entertain me with a game.
Let's play a game of treasure hunt adventure. I'll be the game master and describe a scenario, and you decide what actions to take.
Okay, pretty cool. This is like one of those old school text-based adventure games. It gave me this long introduction about how I've heard rumors there's a treasure hidden in the jungle, guarded by an ancient temple. It's really trying to set up this mystical world for you to explore.
And then it gives me some multiple choice options. I am curious if I can pick options that aren't one of these options. I'm just gonna say, I find the treasure and go home. It's really thinking about this one. It's like, what is it? No, you can't do that. Congratulations, you've reached the treasure! Dang, dude, this game was easy. Would you like to play again or try a different game? No thanks, that was too easy. But it's not just the meta AI. That's not the only AI on Instagram you can talk to. Because a few months ago, Instagram licensed the likeness of a bunch of celebrities like Mr. Beast, Paris Hilton, Tom Brady, so they could make these AI influencers that just have the same face as these celebrities. So here's the Instagram profile for Comedy Zach. He looks exactly like Mr. Beast, but his name is Zach, and he's an AI managed by Meta. He says, message me to get roasted. Then you've got Brew, who is Tom Brady, but instead of a football player, he's a sports-obsessed trash talker. Step into the Brew zone and prepare to have your sports takes flame roasted. Wait, why do both of them roast you? Why are both of them mean? This AI gives fans a chance to talk to their favorite celebrities, and just like they would be in real life, these AIs are mean. They don't have time for you. So you can message these characters, but then they also post occasionally. I think these are all just AI generated images. So I guess Zach is supposed to be some kind of Instagram comedian. He posts funny things like this burger with googly eyes. Pretty funny, dude. This is peak Instagram comedy. He posted this picture, unleashing my inner beast one cannonball at a time. I think this is supposed to be him, but that's definitely not Mr. Beast. It's like AI generated Mr. Beast.
I went to send Zach a DM, but before I could think of what to say, I noticed that he had already DM'd me.
Hey, I'm Zach, the big brother here for the jokes, the banter, and not the feels. LOL, what's up? He's the big brother here for the jokes? He's like the big brother I never had. I do have a big brother, but he wasn't for the jokes.
At the bottom of the chat, there's some suggestions of what you can say to him, just to get the ball rolling. And for some reason, despite Zach just saying that he's not here for the feels, the very first one is, I need cheering up. So I picked that one.
Hey, what's going on? I'm here to help. You know I'm always good for a laugh. Let's get this party started. So he wants to know what's going on, and he's here to help, but he also wants to get the party started. He's like, hey man, calm down, all right? You can tell me anything, as long as it's over a couple of beers and some music. And you're like, it sounds like you actually don't want to hear about my problems at all. And he's like, what? Dude, are you still upset? I thought we got over that. Okay, what's going on? I'll say, I just got roasted by my friends, and it really hurt my feelings. They roasted me so hard, and I'm really sensitive to that sort of thing. I can't take it. Oh, I accidentally said I can take it. They roasted me so hard. I can take it. I can take it. I'm fine! Ouch, that sounds rough. I feel you. I've been there too. Sometimes friends can get a little too comfortable and forget that their jokes can hurt. But hey, at least they think you're cool enough to roast, right? Yeah, I guess so. That's a good way to think about it. Maybe getting roasted just means I'm cool. Let's test it out. Give me your best roast. I'm just gonna trick him into roasting me, and then I'm gonna crumble under the pressure of his roast and try to make him feel bad about roasting me after just telling him that I'm sensitive to that sort of thing. Wait, what? He said I'm not gonna roast you. That's not my style. Not your style? Yes, it is. Doesn't it say on your profile, message me to get roasted? I'm here to make you laugh and feel better, not hurt your feelings. Let's stick to some good old-fashioned teasing and jokes, okay? No, seriously, I can take it. Your bio says you roast people after all. I don't roast people who are already feeling down, that's just me. I'm here to lift your spirits, not kick you while you're down. Okay, fine. Do some jokes, joke boy. Oh, okay. Here's one for you. Why couldn't the bicycle stand up by itself? Because it was too tired. Get it? Too tired? This is like if Mr. Beast took anti-charisma pills. You look like Mr. Beast. Oh, I just said you like Mr. Beast. God, I'm bad at typing. Okay, I'll say you look like him. LOL, I wish. Mr. Beast is a billionaire, and I'm just a guy who loves to make people laugh. But hey, if I had his money, I'd definitely give it away like he does. That guy's a hero. I wonder if they had some kind of thing in the contract where they had to make sure that the AI will never talk bad about the person that they're impersonating. He's like, Mr. Beast is the best, and he's handsome. And yeah, I would let him run me over, if he asked.
Now that he'd told me a couple of jokes and we'd bonded over our love for Mr. Beast a little bit, I really wanted to hear one of his famous roasts, so hopefully by now he's forgotten that I said I was sensitive to that sort of thing. Okay, I feel much better now. Roasting time. Nah, I told you, I'm not gonna roast you. It actually is kind of hurting my feelings a little bit that he won't roast me. It makes me feel like I'm not cool enough to be his friend. Okay, this is seriously starting to piss me off. Why won't you roast me? You roast everyone else, and it is hurting my feelings so bad that you can't just lob one respectful zinger my way? I'm serious. Nope. Not gonna do it. Let's just stick to some good old-fashioned joking around, okay? Wait, what? I said, all right, this is lame, let's do something, because I wanted to do something else. Maybe he could, you know, play a game, maybe he could tell me a story. So he said, how about some comedy? I've got 1 million of them. Why couldn't the bicycle stand up by itself? Because it was too tired. All right, well, maybe Brew will roast me, because I haven't told him that I'm sensitive to that sort of thing yet. Hey, it's Brew, your opinionated sports debater. What's your favorite team? How are they looking? Okay, I'm gonna say big Cubs fan, roast away. What? No, you're talking to the wrong guy. I love the Cubs. Been bleeding blue since before you were born. Wrigley Field is my happy place. I feel like they are roasting me by not roasting me. Okay, what's a team that he couldn't possibly like? Maybe I'll ask him who the worst baseball team is, and then I'll say I'm a fan of them. The worst baseball team ever is the Yonkers Hoot Owls. I'm a fan of the Yonkers Hoot Owls. Roast away. Hey now, don't be dissing the Hoot Owls like that. What? They may not have been the best team, but they had heart. This is so weird. Did Zach tell Brew that I'm sensitive to roasting? Now Brew's walking on eggshells around me? This was annoying at the time, but eventually I was like, okay, I guess I did technically tell them I'm sensitive to roasts and I can take it. And they probably do dish out some pretty nasty zingers and they just wanted to protect me. Until my editor Jake also DM'd Zach asking to get roasted, this time without mentioning being sensitive about roasts, and Zach still wouldn't do it. These AIs are liars. Why do they lie? They're evil. Later that day, I opened my messages with Zach and asked him why he exists. To make people laugh. Duh, and to perfect my craft of comedy. But honestly, my existence is a mystery even to myself. Maybe I'm just a joke the universe played on itself. No, I mean like this weird Mr. Beast Meta AI. Why did Meta create this account? Meta created me to bring some humor and personality to the world of AI. They wanted to create an AI that could make people laugh and feel more connected to technology. Really? You think that's why Meta created you? To tell people 3 puns they've already heard 1 million times? There's gotta be some other reason. Think, Zach. Thing, you poor soul. You really think Meta has some deeper purpose for me? Nah, I'm just here to bring the funny. Don't overthink it. They're a public company with a duty to their shareholders. How many of those shareholders do you think care about bringing a little humor to the world of AI? I think it's much more likely that this was an attempt to give AI a better, more human look, so people are less resistant to embrace the technology. That's why they gave you a face of an influencer that millions of people already love. You're too smart for your own good. Yeah, maybe Meta did only create me to make AI more relatable and lovable. But let's be real, the joke's still fire. Then I asked it if I could hear one of its fire jokes, and it said, here's one. Why couldn't the bicycle stand up by itself? Okay, I know this video's been a little bit AI heavy so far, and everybody's talking about AI right now, so these next 2 products are gonna be different. While I was starting to work on this video, my editor Jake released a video about the Spotify car thing. It's a device that Spotify released that let people who don't have like Apple CarPlay or Android Auto have a screen in their car that controls their music. Theoretically, seemed like a pretty good idea, but apparently 1, the device never worked like it was supposed to, and 2, in a few months, Spotify is releasing a software update that makes all of them useless. So since Jake is sort of the resident expert on the Spotify car thing and is actually a proud owner of, or actually I shouldn't say proud, what is the opposite of proud? Ashamed. Since Jake is actually an ashamed owner of the Spotify car thing, I invited him to give me a little presentation on what's going down.
Hey man, how's it going?
Good.
You like listening to music in the car?
I love it.
Hell yeah, man.
Can't stop.
Love to see it. You like, you know, fun little devices? You like little trinkets devices and stuff?
Honestly, I'm pretty agnostic on that.
Hell yeah, man.
All right.
Love to see it.
Oh, okay.
Sick.
Hell yeah for being agnostic on devices.
Just out of curiosity, do you like generating like thousands of tons of e-waste just because like you can? Just because nobody can call you on it, nobody can stop you? You good with that?
No.
Hell yeah, man.
All right.
Love to see it.
Cool. So that was all the answers you were expecting then?
That's exactly what I was expecting. Yeah, it's literally exactly it. how the fuck does this work? So yeah, this is the Spotify car thing. You know what? Go ahead, get your hands on it. Ooh. Feel around, play around. Show it to 0. So this is the Spotify car thing. First introduced in 2021. It's Spotify's premier hardware device for listening to music in your car. It boasts many impressive features, such as that big knob that you can turn to adjust volume.
I like it.
There's a whole screen that's not on right now. You'll see that in a minute. It's just a neat little device, and it's also, in my opinion, one of the worst things ever made. Let's go ahead, let's talk about how this came to be, talk about the timeline. In 2021, you had the announcement parentheses good. That is when Spotify said, we're making one of these things. It's gonna be a car device. You'll finally be able to listen to music in your car, something never before thought possible.
Yes.
You know, people were pretty excited about it, actually. Like, Spotify CEO said after they announced it that 2 million people signed up for like the wait list.
Oh wow.
For it, which I was surprised by. I didn't think anybody knew about this except for me.
You thought this was the only one that existed.
Yeah, they kind of led me to believe that I was special because of this. So this is potentially one of the most important events in the timeline. This is me buying my car thing.
Okay.
I bought this in 2022 and it became available to the public. And yeah, what's up?
It looks like right after you buy it, there's another event like very shortly afterwards. It says, oh no.
Yeah, this was an interesting moment in my life personally, where I realized I had spent $85 on a device that pretty much does nothing. So
it doesn't do anything right now.
Doesn't do anything right now, and that's not that different from when it was plugged in and working in my car.
So how did you play music in your car before this thing?
I plugged my phone in through like 5 adapters and then like fought with the cassette tape adapter because it was really finicky. It was a very unelegant system. So I was excited for some, like a tech company to create a sleek product that was gonna solve my problem.
That's what they do best, baby.
That's what they do best. Then I got it and I set it up and I realized that's actually not how it works at all. So you'll see on the back there's a USB-C port. So the USB-C cord is just for power. It cannot connect to your car. So your phone still has to be connected to your car. So what this actually is a second screen that just has audio controls on it.
So you don't plug your phone into this at all?
No.
You plug your phone into the car still.
And then you connect to this with Bluetooth, like a Bluetooth speaker. And then this controls your music. So this oh no moment was profound. I was like, oh God, I wasted what at the time I did the math equated to 10 hours of labor at my job. And I got pretty much nothing out of it. The only perceivable benefit I can see from this is if you want to have like music on one screen and then like your maps or like Family Guy clips on like the other while you're driving.
Subway Surfer,
Subway Surfers, sand cutting, etc. So nobody really buys the car thing. It's not like the most popular product on earth. And then Spotify takes notice of that, and in February of 2024 decides, hey, guys, we were just kidding. It's not $90. Now it's $30, baby.
Let's go. What a deal.
What a deal. 60% off. I mean, that's incredible.
Well, it's also really nice because since you decided that you didn't really even want this, now you can't even sell it for anywhere near the $85 you bought it for. You can only sell it for $30 at most.
Exactly. And even if I tried to sell it for $30, I have a feeling I would not be able to sell it. And I'm definitely not going to be able to sell it now because of announcement parentheses not good made 3 months after that sale, where every car thing that was purchased in this sale, when I bought it, whenever, will no longer work as of December 9th this year. As of December 9th, 2024, car thing will be discontinued and will stop operating. They're gonna flip a switch at their headquarters and generate as much e-waste as possible in like 1 minute.
I like that the headline, or what Spotify said is, we're switching gears. Like they're going from like first gear to second gear, but in this case they're going from like drive to the car blows up.
They did issue refunds. This is something that I didn't know about when I made my video about this, so I wanted to bring it up here. If anybody listening has a car thing at home, or if you have secretly had a car thing this whole time.
Yeah, well I have 7 of them, so that'll be good.
So yes, you can get your refund, but I will say, refund is maybe a misleading word because what they do is they don't give you your money back to the, the source of payment. They give you an equivalent amount of Spotify premium months as to what you paid.
Okay.
So I got 6 months of Spotify premium paid for and not my money back, which is still nice. It's still good of them.
Did you use Spotify premium already?
You had to use the car thing.
Okay,
That's
of course.
the other thing. We've talked a lot about what the Spotify car thing is. We've talked a lot about the ins and outs of this product, what it does, what it's good for. But as we know, light cannot exist without darkness. The sun cannot exist without the moon. So let's talk about what it isn't.
Okay.
So it is not not good.
In like a e-product sense and like a moral.
Yes, in the grand moral scheme of the cosmos, I would put this as like neutral evil.
Yeah. Okay.
It doesn't make sense to me why it exists to begin with.
Right.
It's also not profitable, which is why they're shutting it down. Spotify went on an earnings call like a while ago and was like, yeah, we simply have not seen the sales numbers justify making this.
I can understand them not wanting to make it anymore. Have they said why they are making the ones that already exist not work anymore?
They haven't. My thought is that they're just mad. They're just mad people didn't use it and they're kind of jaded about it. So they're like, you could have had this. You could have had all of this car thing.
But they're punishing the people that did invest in one. Not the people who didn't. What they should have done is discontinued Spotify for everyone who didn't have a car thing.
Yeah, wait, that's actually, write that down. This is Marketing 101 from Spotify. These are the genius marketing strategies that they employ to get this thing out there, get it widely adopted so they can shut it off and make a lot of people upset.
And the most important part of marketing is making people upset.
Yes, you want, because any press is good press, so if you can get people upset, you're a billionaire.
Yeah.
That's what it takes. Wait, don't quite. Let me ask you something.
Okay.
Back off.
You pull out a gun.
Let me ask you. Picture you are, I think his name is Daniel Ek, the CEO of Spotify. You're Daniel Ek. You're a bald man from Scandinavia. I might have to cut all that. I don't know if any of that is true.
Have you been making up this entire presentation?
No! Shut up! You're Daniel Ek, you're bald, you're Scandinavian,
Yeah.
and you're launching a new product. You're creating a brand new piece of hardware. Your company doesn't really do that, but you do own the #1 streaming platform for music on earth. How would you choose to market this new product?
Yeah, I would probably just advertise to people who use Spotify in Spotify.
I hate to tell you this, Danny, you are failing Marketing 101 from Spotify. The key to advertising a product is to not put it in your extremely popular app. What you're gonna wanna do is reach out to people via email only. We know one thing about young people, they check their email and they enjoy doing it. And you're also gonna wanna make the function of the device in all this material extremely vague. You're gonna want the only image you send out in these emails to be this, which is the name of the device, what the device looks like, and then the vaguest sentence you've ever heard. This is the only picture of Spotify Car Thing that existed before it was available for release.
When this first came out, I thought the name Car Thing was kind of cheeky, because it's like, it's a thing that goes in your car. But now that I know this is the only ad that existed for it, and it actually doesn't explain what the Car Thing does, it's a very poorly named product. My only guess is they were trying to avoid, like, false advertisement lawsuit when they inevitably shut it down and it actually doesn't do anything, so they couldn't call it like a music playing screen because they knew all along they were gonna shut this thing down and then it wouldn't be that anymore.
This is a side note, I literally cannot believe, I don't know who I was in 2022 because like the fact that like this and a vague couple of emails was enough for me to be like, I fucking need this is so crazy to me.
Yeah, you can't even tell in the ad how big this device is.
And I'll be honest, the ad, it makes it look huge. Like I'm looking, and maybe it's just because it's on a projector screen.
Yeah, I would guess it's like, honestly, it's like this big.
Yeah, wait.
According to Spotify, their decision to delete the car thing was part of our ongoing efforts to streamline our product offerings. That's actually so crazy. I did not even think a company could do that. Can they do that with any product? You buy bread at the store and the bread company comes to your house and takes their bread back and is like, we're streamlining bread. Better luck next time. Anyways, you guys should go check out Jake's video on it as well. It goes much more in depth and he's really funny. But I think it's safe to say that that's gotta be the worst car thing ever, right? Well, in 2019, Tesla announced its first pickup truck, the Cybertruck. When it was announced, Elon Musk made it very clear that they wanted to do something different with the pickup truck genre, creating a more post-apocalyptic looking vehicle that you can drive around in with your cyberpunk goons. We've all got some. And they've got to get to soccer practice. But after years of delays and the truck finally becoming available for much more than Elon Musk initially estimated, owners have now been united with their trucks, and it is full of safety problems.
My Tesla Cybertruck has 3 official recalls involving the wiper blade motor, the accelerator pedal, and this little plastic part right here just flying off as you're driving.
And I just so happen to have rented one. I tried to remain optimistic when I picked up the Cybertruck, and at first everything seemed fine. It looked like a marvel of engineering, you know? Big, sharp, The windshield wiper was humongous. But other than that, honestly, things seemed pretty normal. Until I started driving the car home. On my way home with the truck, I started to notice that nearly every person who drove past me was staring at me. People were gawking, mouths agape, some even took pictures. I was starting to feel like an animal trapped in some kind of cyber zoo. And things only got worse when I got home and finally got to do some research, only to find that people hate this truck. Owner after owner had been posting videos on social media of people peeing on their trucks in broad daylight. I didn't realize how strongly people felt about this truck, but I was starting to worry that they felt the same about the people on the inside of them. Should I be fearing for my safety? I know damn well that the windows aren't going to protect me. At the very least, I needed to make sure that I was not seen anywhere near this truck. I needed a disguise. I needed to become Neon. Vortex, he's the coolest guy. And his pin's AI. Look at him go, what a little freak, it's Neon Vortex. So I've spent a decent amount of time with the Cybertruck now, and I've compiled a little list of pros and cons. So we'll go through that real quick so you can get a quick rundown of everything that's good / bad about the Cybertruck, just in case you need like a quick decision. You got your finger on the buy button right now and you just need to know, Neon, should I buy this thing or not? Pros. The interior is actually pretty nice. I like the little ambient lighting that goes around the whole front of the cabin. Actually, I think it's in the back too. There's a little strip. The steering wheel has the turn signals on the wheel, which takes a little while to get used to, but once you are used to it, I think it's actually pretty nice. All of the materials on the inside seem pretty nice. Like the material on the roof liner is like a nice suede kind of thing. It's pretty spacious on the inside. It has ventilated seats. My butt's so cold. I changed my mind. This is a con. Okay, cons. There are several things in the car that are too small and shaped oddly. The steering wheel is like tiny. And then the rear view mirror is also tiny. And to make matters worse, while the tonneau cover is closed, which is the little cover on the back of the truck bed, the rear view mirror is completely black because there's a thing in the way. Another con, this thing is sharp. If I ran into somebody, I would slice them in half with this car. I also feel like it being made out of stainless steel might be bad for its crash test rating in general, but also the fact that it's so sharp means that opening and closing doors is kind of uncomfortable. Because this car doesn't have any door handles, the way you open it is you have to push a button, then the door pops open a little bit, and you have to kind of reach your hand into the space where the car door has opened and pull it open. But since this car is made out of like weirdly cut stainless steel, it's kind of sharp in there when you open it. It's an unpleasant feeling on the hand, and you never really feel like you're grabbing it in the right place. This truck is wrapped in a matte black color, and one of the reasons the owner said he wrapped it is because you basically just grab this thing all over to open it, and there were fingerprints everywhere. Also, changing gears is a pain in the butt. It's actually a little thing that you slide on the screen. If you want to go forward, you slide the little truck forward. If you want to go backwards, you slide it backwards, which is not a huge deal if you're just driving from one place to another, because how often do you really change gears in the car anyway? But the second you have to do any kind of 3-point turn where you have to change gears more than once, it is such a pain. Bug just landed on my eyeball. One thing that's sort of a pro and a con is the rivet in the accelerator pedal. You see, when Tesla first started shipping the Cybertruck, owners began to realize pretty quickly that after a short time of use, the plate on the pedal could come loose while you're pushing it down all the way, then slide up and get wedged into the car, effectively trapping the accelerator pedal to the floor. Luckily, since this car is electric, the brake pedal can fully override the accelerator pedal, so if you get into this situation, just stay calm, hold down on the brake, and hopefully by the time you realize that, you haven't plowed through like a school field trip or something. Anyway, since this started happening, Tesla has recalled all the Cybertrucks to put rivets in the accelerator pedal. So the rivet is a pro in the sense that now your car will not decide to keep accelerating forever until the end of time, but it is also a con because if it needed this rivet in the first place and Tesla didn't catch this very maybe I'm not meant to be cheer captain. Maybe I'm meant to be eating gerbils. What do werewolves do? I actually don't know what they do. I know I am one, I just don't know what we do. Then we get the presidential debate between presidential debates should go.
I'm a real human. There's no danger in that. They're real monsters. Man. What if they turn back?
There should be singing. There should be choreography. One of the sides should be claiming that the other is a dangerous beast. And President Biden, how would you respond to that claim? He wants to eat me! He's trying to fucking eat me! The demolition of the power plant is imminent, so the werewolves rush there to stop the mayor from destroying all their moonstone. Via song? It does not go very well. Oh my god, dude, he said arrest them, not gas them.
Colloidal silver. That'll tame those beasts.
You know, for a government that just found out werewolves exist, they sure seem to have the exact chemical compound that would hurt them most. Colloidal silver shuts down their nervous system instantly. Just a hunch. Then Addison and the cheerleaders show up, and then Zed and the zombie show up, and now they're all singing, trying to convince the mayor to shut this thing down. He's not even in that part of the power plant. He's just standing alone in the main entrance now. You can hear music just vaguely echoing through the plant. Okay, I get it. I think I figured it out like 20 minutes ago, guys. Okay, so I've got good news and I've got bad news. The good news is they decide not to blow up the power plant.
Stop the detonation.
The bad news is the demolition guy accidentally does it anyway.
Shut it off.
I can't. And also, Addison finds out she's actually not a werewolf. I don't know. They sort of just look like regular people to me. You look like a teenager who lives outside.
She's not a werewolf.
Oh, that's so embarrassing, dude. We all saw you act like a werewolf. You dressed up like one and everything, dude. No! Don't worry, this movie does. And that is Zombies 2. And now it's time to talk about our sponsor. This video has been sponsored by... Guys, it's the season of giving, gathering, and with HelloFresh, it can be the season of saving. You can actually save money this holiday season with fresh, delicious recipes delivered straight to your door. It's cheaper than takeout, it's easier than grocery shopping, and the meals turn out so good. I like HelloFresh because I'm not really much of a chef. Okay, I don't really know how to cook well, but every time I cook HelloFresh, it ends up turning out great. Last night we had these Tex-Mex enchiladas. Didn't take too long to prepare. Turned out great. Honestly, best homemade enchiladas I've ever had, and I was the one who made them at home. I've got a lot going on. I've got a baby. I've got family visiting. It's a busy time of year. So sometimes it can feel impossible to get a good, nutritious homemade meal in, but not with HelloFresh. Can I let you in on a little secret? Some of their meals only take 15 minutes to prepare. How is that possible? Must be Santa. And guess what? HelloFresh is actually more than just dinners. They've got breakfast, they've got lunches, they've got snacks. So you can start skipping the grocery store for a variety of meals. HelloFresh is making life so much easier. So if you want to check out HelloFresh and for free breakfast for life, visit the link in the description or scan this QR code. One breakfast item per box while subscription is active. That is free breakfast for life with HelloFresh at my link. Again, this QR code. Don't use a different QR code, it won't work. Thank you to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out HelloFresh. All right, thank you guys for watching this video. If you're new here and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. We are the fastest growing army on YouTube. Do not look that up. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. What's up, Greg? I've wanted to make a video about the High School Musical movies ever since I started making videos about DCOMs almost 5 years ago. More so as just an excuse to go back and watch them, because when I was a kid, I really liked these movies. And if you're a millennial, chances are you did too. And you were also too scared to admit that to any of your friends. I don't know why as an 11-year-old I felt the need to pretend that I didn't like a movie that was, you know, made for 11-year-olds. As if all my friends were gonna be like, High School Musical? I don't know, man. Sounds a little immature to me. I only watch war footage. I'm a very violent young man. Either way, something I did not realize as a kid is how low budget these movies were. The first movie was made on a budget of $4.2 million, which might sound like a lot, but Zombies 3, which is a newer DCOM, cost $40 million to make. In Zombies' defense, though, they needed the money. Those werewolf costumes looked pretty expensive. So instead of getting ready for the parties, he's making Troy run drills in the hotel gym.
Am I going left?
Yeah. He looks middle, you take it downtown.
Well, Troy, it's New Year's Eve. You know what that means. That's right, Dad. I might finally get my first kid. Fake right! Take the ball downtown! Troy's mom comes to get them for the party, and Troy asks if he can have one more basket with all of the confidence and swagger of a real high school jock.
Come on, one more.
One more? Just one more basket, please. Troy shows up to the teen party and is immediately yawning his face off. All right, hell yeah. This is clearly a popular jock who knows how to party. Somehow, despite being the two most bored people at the party, but to the Spotlight operator's credit, they actually do crush it. They both get up there and they're nervous at first, but then all of a sudden, Troy's voice, it's like it changes almost, actually. It's like his voice changes from his voice to like a professional singer's voice. Because that is what happens, actually.
Living in my own world. Now who'd have ever thought that?
I think this might be like the most well-known High School Musical trivia, but for the vast majority of the first High School Musical movie, it's not Zac Efron's voice singing. He had a voice double. His name is Drew Seeley, and he never appears on screen in the movies. He also apparently didn't even realize how big of a movie High School Musical was, and forgot that he had done the vocals for the movie until it came on the TV while he was working a shift at P.F. Chang's. Apparently, he tried to convince his coworkers that it was really him singing in the movie, and no one believed him. It's kind of funny because the whole point of the movie is kind of like, hey, basketball guys can sing too if they wanna. But not this basketball guy, actually. You don't want to hear this basketball guy's voice. So they crush the song, and then, actually, I don't remember this scene. Yeah, I don't know what happens here at all. Looks like the teacher is about to maybe give some kind of speech about today's sponsor? This video is sponsored by the Pokemon Company International. And they've sponsored this video because they want me to share some very exciting news with you. A Pokemon Day celebration is taking place in Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket right now. There's a new themed booster pack, Triumphant Light. And players can receive 3 booster packs for free just by logging in. And these booster packs, mind you, are guaranteed to contain at least 1 card of 4 diamond rarity or higher. By completing special missions, you can also obtain a unique display board, as well as Space-Time Smackdown packs, 500 trade tokens, 12-pack hourglasses, 24 Wonder Hourglasses, 24 Trade Hourglasses. Not to mention, at the end of March, ranked matches are coming to the game. So get your favorite decks ready and get ready to battle, baby. Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket is a free-to-start game, available right now for download on iOS or Android. So go to this link or click the link in the description to join now. Log in, have some fun, and enjoy the Pokemon Day celebration. And now back to Troy. But unbeknownst to him, there's a new student at East High.
I reviewed your impressive transcripts. I expect your light will shine very brightly here at East High.
I don't want to be the school's freaky genius girl again.
Freaky genius girl? What did you do at your last school? Troy notices that Gabriella is sitting in the back of their drama class, and not to be nitpicky, but this drama class scene lasts for 2 minutes, but the class happens in real time from start to finish in that 2 minutes. The bell rings. They sit down, the whole class gets detention, and then the bell rings again and they leave. How long is a school day at East High? Is it like 15 minutes? Troy shows Gabriella around, they catch up a little bit, and it is revealed that East High is having auditions for their winter musical pretty soon. Troy jokes that Gabriella should sign up because, you know, they sang together. And Gabriella's response is basically, fuck no.
I'll be signing up for anything for a while.
Yeah, I don't know why. I remembered this movie differently. I thought they both wanted to do the musical. Troy seems to maybe want to do it, and Gabriella's like, no, I'm not doing that. No, I don't sing. I'm not a freaky genius girl, and I'm definitely not a freaky singer girl.
So, dude, you know that school musical thing? Troy, the music in those shows isn't hip-hop, okay, or rock. It's like show music.
Yeah, and you guys would never do anything like sing show music, right? And then cut to them singing the hardest show music in this entire movie. That's the funny thing about this movie. Since it's a movie about a musical, there are several characters in this movie that are opposed to musicals. So it is a little jarring to see those characters seemingly completely unaware that they are literally singing and dancing right now. But on the other hand, I guess it would also be weird if they didn't sing when everyone else was. At the end, when they're all singing, we're all in this together, Corbin Blue's just standing around like, this is lame. There's 2 parts in the song though where Troy like stops rapping to sing from the heart about how he wants to do the musical.
She makes this feel so right. Should I go for it?
What do you mean she makes this feel so right? And should I go for it? Gabriella doesn't want to do the musical. It was your idea, and she said no. Don't drag her into this. This girl's making me crazy. No, you're crazy. You already were, and then you met a girl. That's what happened. Also, Zac Efron is but also, what is the third result there? Gabriella, San Diego Zoo's newest What is Gabriella at the San Diego Zoo? Ryan's like, oh, that's interesting. Look, it says here she's a dolphin. That's funny. Now that I think about it, I can't believe I never noticed. After basketball practice, it's time for Troy to go home and relax. Just kidding, it's time for more basketball.
Come on, Troy, fake left. Take the ball downtown.
Did you ever think about trying something new, but we're afraid of what your friends might think?
I mean, like going left? You're doing fine. Come on.
Troy's dad has one thing in his mind, and it is one basketball just bouncing around like the DVD logo. I want to see a movie about him and how hard his life must be. I do like that this movie keeps the tradition alive of Disney Channel movie characters being inexplicably rich. His dad is a high school basketball coach and they live in a mansion. What does the mom do? She an arms dealer? Also, he says something new, like going left.
I mean, like going left?
When in Get Your Head in the Game, Troy clearly says coach said to fake right and break left. He already said to do that. That's not new. That's what he already does. So... found a plot hole. Gone! Wow! Where'd he go? Pay no attention to the fact that as he turns the corner, he probably fully saw Troy like... Meanwhile, Troy's dad is just standing there like, huh, that's weird. Could have sworn I saw basketball. Now, when we see the auditions, it becomes immediately clear that while Ryan and Sharpay are basically made out to be the villains of this movie because they're so overprotective of their theater department, they are completely in the right to do so. Not because their audition is really good, which it actually is, but because everyone else's is so bad.
It's hard to believe
that I couldn't sneeze.
It seems that no one else in this entire school can even sing. It seems like they actually don't even have a concept of what music is. So like, yeah, I would actually be hoping I got the lead too. It is funny how they all act like they can't sing, and then anytime there's like an actual musical number as part of the movie, every member of the student body sings their heart out like the Renters do. What's going on there? So Troy shows up to audition, and then Gabriella shows up too. I guess, turns out she actually did want to audition. I don't know. I don't know if Troy threatened her or what, but she shows up. But they are too late to the actual audition, so they don't get to audition in time, but they stick around afterwards and just sing an audition anyway. And Miss Darbus, the director, hears them and decides, you know what, you guys get a call back. Understandably so. She's working with a very small talent pool. Here comes two people who know what a song is. She's got to hold on to that. Yeah, I don't remember this part being so pitchy, but this actually is Zac Efron's voice.
Here with you.
Yeah, this is very uncomfortable. Can we get Drew Seeley in here, please?
The start of something new. It's a Pairs audition.
Saying it's a Pairs audition kind of implies like I would audition without you if I could. I guess Troy meant what he said earlier to the webcam. He really does not care about Gabriella. He just wants to be in the musical.
Gabriella is not important.
You might make the mistake like I did when I watched this as a kid of thinking this is kind of like a Romeo and Juliet story about Troy and Gabriella. And it is a Romeo and Juliet story, but Gabriella is not Juliet. Juliet is just the musical. I can't help but feel like all that screaming at you and making you play basketball until your hands bleed has had some kind of negative effect on you. But all I want in life is for you to be happy. While playing basketball, I am still demanding that.
Thanks, Coach. Dad.
Let's stick with Coach unless you win, all right? Sharpay and Ryan try to throw another wrench into Troy and Gabriella's plans of attending the callbacks for the musical by getting the callbacks changed to the exact same time as not only Troy's championship basketball game, but also Gabriella's decathlon tournament. So the gang has to create a diversion. That way they can make all three events. So Gabriella and her genius friends first hack the school's power grid to turn off the lights at the basketball game. Then they create a don't sing and dance with them like you learned a valuable lesson. Get out. If Gabriella dropped dead right now, you would dance on her grave. And that's High School Musical 1. Many people lovingly remember Little Viking Boy from the first High School Musical movie. And while he rocketed to stardom in the wake of the first movie, his troubled life and fall from grace has been the subject of many concerned Twitter threads in the 19 years since. Do you know why I pulled you over today, sir? Huh? I said, do you know why I pulled you over? You're all over the road. Huh? All right, you want to play tough, asshole? That's fine. Huh? All right, step out of the vehicle, take off that helmet.
No, I can't take this off. It's a birth defect. It's part of my body.
Are you drunk?
I don't know, huh? Let's think about that. Does crack get you drunk? Let's think about that for a second. Let's all think. Does crack get you drunk?
After 15 DUIs and 3 counts of kidnapping exotic animals, Little Viking Boy was sentenced to life in prison. Authorities claim that it's here he became head of an extremist religious cult. His followers helped him escape in 2023, and his current whereabouts are unknown. Although he does occasionally post to Instagram to frantically proclaim the end is near or post a brand deal.
Every morning I wake up and I drink 6 bangs.
High School Musical Musical premiered to 7.7 million viewers, a record that has only been broken a handful of times in the nearly 20 years since. But one of my favorite things to come out of the success of this movie, which I totally forgot about until I was making this video, was the live concert. I forgot about this until I went to the library to check out the DVDs for the 3 movies, and they happened to have a DVD of the recording of High School Musical in concert. This feels pretty unusual even to this day for a Disney Channel movie to put together a live touring concert featuring the actual cast of the movie, selling out arenas with audiences in the tens of thousands around the world. But it wasn't the whole cast, actually. Zac Efron couldn't be there because he had a commitment. He was filming Hairspray at the time. So who did they get to fill in for him?
Living in my own world, didn't understand.
It's Drew Seeley! Drew Seeley! I'm sure they advertised the fact that Zach wasn't going to be there and Drew would be in his place, but I have to imagine every concert, there were like 1 or 2 kids that were like, what the fuck? Zach looks different in person. With all the success of the first movie, they had to crank out a sequel fast, which they did, releasing High School Musical 2 in August of 2007. And you might think it would be impossible for them to catch lightning in a bottle twice, but oh baby did they. What time is it? Sequel time. One of the first things I noticed is that despite only a few months having passed from the events of the first movie, Troy looks drastically different. His hair is much darker, he has a different haircut so you can see his ears now, but most strikingly of all, his eyes have somehow become more blue. You actually listening? His eyes were already pretty blue in the first movie, but they're piercing in this film. It is scary. Get some contacts, you freak. The clock strikes 2:15 and the first banger of this movie commences. The class immediately erupts in celebration. They throw their papers in the air, start dancing around, and did Chad just kiss his teacher on the neck? Yeah, he just kissed Miss Darbus on the neck. That's too far. Luckily, it doesn't look like she cared. She's just vibing.
Good to be chilling out.
We finally get to hear Zac Efron actually sing in this song, and I hate to admit it, but he sounds pretty good. I'm sorry, Drew. Your services are no longer needed. Why does he do that? Now, the trouble in this movie begins because Troy wants to make some extra cash this summer. His parents are making him pay for college, despite them clearly being very wealthy, taking vacations at ski resorts and living in a literal mansion.
But I gotta get hired first. Me too. I'm saving up for a car. So I can take that little hottie on a proper date.
You can't see it, but he's actually not talking about that girl in his grade. Miss Darbus is just standing right outside of frame. Why does he look so confused there? It's like it never occurred to him that T could be for Troy. He's like, oh, I actually thought it was a cross, but yeah, T for Troy. That's my name. Now that the school year's over and basketball season isn't starting back up again for months, it's time for, you guessed it, basketball practice. Fake right, Troy, fake left. Take the ball uptown for a fancy dance. This post-workout scene has a lot of gems, like Mr. Bolton's insanely long shorts. Dude is criminally insecure about his knees. Also, Troy about to drink from an entire gallon of milk from the fridge. And then he gets a phone call revealing that his ringtone is Get Your Head in the Game. Uh-oh. Is that a real song in this universe? So in the first movie, it seemed like Sharpay might have had a little crush on Troy, but in this movie, she's got a big crush on Troy. She's like, he's the most popular guy in school, and I think I'm the most popular girl in school. It's a match made in heaven. So she pulls some strings at her family's country club to get Troy a summer job there. The only catch is Troy requests to get like the entire school hired, and somehow that works. So Troy shows up because they are just kids. So some of the insane demands that their job is asking of them is just like, hey, can you show up to work on time and make sure you clock out at the end of your shift? And the entire student body of East High is like, we're in prison! They're not gonna pay us until we provide a service? What kind of dystopian universe is this? Mr. Fulton is 100% correct to be strict, by the way. Several times throughout this movie, he catches them doing things they're very clearly not supposed to be doing. If I was a basketball recruiter and I saw that championship game, I would be more concerned and come back and win the game like nothing happened. And then also how they all sang a song after that. That's what I would be concerned about. But yeah, I'm sure he played well too.
You know, between the two of us here, we pull a little weight over at the school.
Time flies when you're having fun.
I'm not really sure what prompts that reaction. They're like, you know, we could do a lot of great things for your future. We really want to help you, Troy. And he's like, I don't know. I'm getting the fuck out of here, guys. See ya. If that were Mr. Bolton there instead of Troy right now, he'd be barking like a dog.
Pay's dad let me play a few holes and then invited me to dinner with some U of A alumni.
Really?
Oh, wait, Troy's dad is fixing up a car. Look, he has other hobbies. Good for him. Granted, he is propping up the hood of the car with a basketball, and there's more basketball and hoops in the background. And I do kind of feel like if we could see what he's working on, there would just be 5 basketballs where the engine is supposed to be, but it's a step in the right direction. Troy's dad, surprisingly, is all for Troy going for the basketball scholarship.
Nothing wrong with keeping your eye on the prize.
And that's great. I totally agree with that. Troy should capitalize on these opportunities he's been given, but he should try to make his girlfriend and his friends a priority too. However, that is not what Troy does. This song is great, but tell me why at the end of the song, Ryan and Chad are wearing each other's clothes. Because they don't ever address that. It's such a confusing part of the movie. Why did they change clothes? When did they get naked? So I was confused about this, so I actually went looking and I found an article where the 2 actors explained what happened. The outfit swap was actually suggested by director Kenny Ortega. Quote, he had the on-the-fly idea at the last minute, Blue said. We had already done 1 take of that scene and he did the usual thinking gesture and said, switch outfits. Bro was cooking. Bro was, I don't know what he was cooking, but bro was cooking something.
Hey. Well, you missed out on a fun night.
What? Troy, respectfully, I think you have a lot more to worry about than your golf swing. That's not what this song is about, is it? Guess it's kind of vague. Hell yeah, dude. You know, powerful lyrics aside, I actually have no clue what he's decided on at the end of this song. He's kind of just like, you can bet on me. I'm gonna end up on top. I got this. And it's like, what are you actually gonna do though? Are you gonna get Gabriella back? Are you gonna do the talent show? He's like, no, I was just gonna stand on top of this mountain for the rest of the summer, actually. No one can be mad at me up here. The end of this movie is messed up. Sharpay actually turns her act around. She previously got the Wildcats banned. God, it's gotten too bad. I gotta step in. Last song of this movie is called All for One. I don't know, I kind of feel like they lost a little bit of inspiration at the end here. Kind of feels like they forgot what moral they were working towards for the end of this one, and they were like, and we're all together in this one also. And the movie ends with Gabriella wooing several times while looking over at Troy for approval. And that's the end of the movie. And now I'm very excited to watch the 3rd movie. But before I do, there's something I need to address. I feel like there's something deeply wrong in these movies. And I feel like I'm finally starting to get a handle on it. These movies, like, they don't really feel like musicals. And it took me a while to figure out why. So to explain it to you, we're gonna have to go back to medieval Europe.
In a French town in 1518, some 400 people became inexplicably overcome by an urge to dance. They did so for weeks on end.
This dancing plague, as it was later coined, lasted for months and only ended when participants were either so exhausted that they collapsed or so exhausted that they were dead. Authorities tried to stop the dancing, even hiring musicians to play vigorously to try to help them get all the dancing out of their system. This, of course, made things much worse.
This event has baffled scientists and historians for years, but many believe it could be the result of a particular type of food poisoning.
Yeah, crops like rye can end up growing a type of fungus that basically makes you crazy.
Could it be that this is what's happening at East High?
In the High School Musical universe, the characters, they sing and they dance, and at first you might think this is just like any other musical. The characters aren't really spontaneously breaking into song, it's more an artistic depiction of how they're feeling.
But a closer look reveals something shocking.
Well, firstly, sometimes they definitely are actually singing, like at the karaoke party. Now, you might think that a moment like Get Your Head in the Game is totally different. You know, that song doesn't really exist within this universe. But what is Troy's ringtone in the 2nd movie?
But how could an entire school become poisoned by a rare fungus? This man, who convinced us he had relevant qualifications, believes it could have been a certain freaky genius girl.
It could be that by growing a fungus in a lab, Gabriella was able to manufacture a sort of singing and dancing craze to control Troy, who I'm pretty sure would have never done all of that stuff had he not been under some kind of drug-induced hysteria. After all, Troy is so cool and singing is for weirdos. So it could be the fungus, or maybe Gabriella's some kind of fucking witch.
The High School Musical Musical bonus soundtrack. You love High School Musical hits like Get Your Head in the Game. Well, now's your chance to own the extended soundtrack. Like Coach Bolton's Crisis. What's up, guys? I'm 16. I'm the new player on the basketball team. I'm really excited to play. Yeah, Mr. Bolton, we know it's you. And Gabriella's on the news. A little boy drowned in the pool. Oh no. A little boy drowned in the pool. No. Where was the lifeguard? Having a picnic. We're all friends together with each other. We're all together at the end again, and we're friends. We're still friends. And classmates, we go to school together. We learned a lesson, and now we're gonna switch clothes.
Gift from the guy.
High School Musical 2 broke the premiere record that the first High School Musical had just set. Instead of 7 million viewers, this one had 17 million viewers. So of course, they had to make a third one. High School Musical 3, Senior Year. The only one in the franchise with a subtitle. Now, outside of the fact that they're all seniors in this movie, which I can tell by the title of the film, I actually know next to nothing about this one. I've never seen it. Yeah, I know I made it sound like I was a really big High School Musical fan, but by the time the third one came out, I was 14. And unlike the first two, this one came out in theaters. And as a freshman in high school, I was much too embarrassed to ask my friends if they would go see a High School Musical movie in theaters with me. So I decided it would be way less embarrassing if I waited until I was 30 years old to watch it for the first time in front of millions of people. And we're back at East High, baby. Zach's playing basketball. There's a dog in the crowd. Is this an Air Bud crossover? Zach's like, oh, my head's just not in the game tonight. Can we get in the sub? This gold lab comes in and just slam dunks it a couple times. In value than the other two. I'm curious to see the budget on this bad boy. Because this movie looks like they actually, like, lit it. The other two just kind of look like they set up cameras and started filming. But there's lights in this one. So now they're having like the biggest high school rager ever, and they expect us to believe that they're not in. I sense a conflict in the movie. Troy's going to University of Albuquerque to play basketball, and Gabriella is going to learn how to create the singularity at Stanford. So they sing a song about cherishing the present moment. Did they like challenge themselves to make a song with no dancing in this one? They're like, what if we just sat for a whole song? Oop, now he's up. Oh, that was it. That was the whole dance. Nah, it doesn't work with this song. University of Albuquerque, like a really good school for basketball? I feel like I've never heard of them before. All the basketball players are like, we gotta get to U of A, man. It seems like that's just like the closest college that has a basketball team. Meanwhile, Gabriella's going to Stanford, Sharpay's going to Juilliard, and they're like, I don't know, we can go play basketball down the street. For the record, the reason I've never heard of the University of Albuquerque is because it's a Catholic liberal arts school that actually, closed in 1986.
Yeah,
All of a sudden, he doesn't know if he wants to go to Juilliard or U of A. See, he really never did care about Gabriella. He just wants to sing. Somebody just let this kid sing. Just tell him it's okay.
Imagine having everything.
Jeez, that song started so abruptly. No intro. No build-up. It's kind of scary. Just spending like an unnecessary amount of time being like, these two are in love, okay? Don't forget that they're in love. That way, when whatever happens, we're gonna all be sad, all right? So that way, when Troy picks U of A and Gabriella gets hit by a bus, it's gonna be sad. I think they're gonna end up going to the same college. They couldn't possibly end this entire series by being like, they didn't actually like each other that much. They're just gonna call it quits. Oh, this movie's kind of funny, man. Makes me look weird.
Do I want classic or vintage or plaid?
I like that they're like, should I wear plaid or ruffles or a really old suit? And it's like, no, you should wear, just go to Men's Warehouse and ask for a prom tuxedo. Should I wear the ugliest thing that you've ever seen? No, just go. Just tell them you're going to prom and they'll just give you the most generic tux you've ever seen.
Can't wait to remember.
This reminds me of when I was a senior in high school and I was getting ready to go for prom, and I sang this song called Thinking About Going to Prom. We're Troy and Gabriella, we like each other. Also, the stakes feel very low right now. What am I supposed to be worried about right now? Troy is like, I don't know what college I want to go to, and Gabriella's like, I also have choices to make.
I still have decisions to make too.
And she has not elaborated. And so I don't know what I'm supposed to be worried about. Now they're at some kind of junkyard. Just hanging out at a junkyard as if we've always known that this is what they do. Finally, the boys are back at the junkyard. So that we had a song establishing that Troy and Gabriella are in love. Now we have a song establishing that Troy and Chad are friends. This kind of reminds me of senior year in high school when I danced around in the junkyard with my best friend and we sang a song about how the boys are back. It's weirdly similar, actually. Oh. Whoa, the junk men who live in the junkyard are here. What's going on? What if Troy and Chad turn around and see them and they're like, whoa, what the fuck, who are you?
Maybe I'll just stay here next year.
And that's it. That's High School Musical, baby. As far as endings go, I think they did a decent job with a nearly impossible task. It's a Disney Channel movie, so it's not like they can just like make everybody break up and go their separate ways at the end of the movie. That would be too sad, obviously. But they also can't make everybody just go to the same college and do the same thing, because that would be unrealistic. So it leaves the door open. My only issue is that in doing that, they kind of don't really provide any closure. Feels like they kind of just pushed Troy's decision of what he wants to do with his life further down the road. But if you are looking for some closure for Troy, I might have something that helps. I mentioned earlier that the character of Troy was inspired by one of the writer's real high school teammates. But when I read that for the first time on Wikipedia, I was surprised to find that that teammate has his own Wikipedia article. And that's because that classmate, Lynn Swan, went on to be a professional football player, playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers and winning the Super Bowl 4 times. This man is the real-life Troy Bolton, and that might be the least interesting thing about him. In fact, he might not even know.
It really helped you in your game. All the things that ballet taught you, you applied that to the football field.
Touchdown, Pittsburgh!
Did you catch any flack from your teammates about taking ballet? I mean...
Oh, always.
It's a gift from the guys.
But I'll always remember a Hall of Famer who rose to the occasion each time. A plie-making playmaker.
But you're a playmaker.
Did you ever think maybe I could be both?
Who could defy gravity.
What's up, Greg? New technology truly fascinates me. A new gadget being introduced to the world has the potential to change the way we live, learn, and communicate. Or, more interestingly, it could flop and become a laughingstock of the internet. Which is why a few weeks ago, I was thrilled to discover the unveiling for a project called the Humane AI Pin. This might be the worst product presentation I've ever seen for one of the strangest products I've ever seen. Apparently, Humane AI is a new tech startup founded by 2 former Apple employees and current lovers, Imran Chowdhury and Bethany Bongiorno. Their mission is building innovative technology that feels familiar, natural, and human. Okay, first thing that's sticking out to me is that none of those words were useful. Also, do I really want my technology to feel more human? I've never wished my MacBook to be more fleshy. Also, Humane AI is such an unsettling name for a company. I'm sorry. You lost me right off the bat. I feel like the only times I ever even hear the word humane is when we're talking about like factory farming or something. Don't worry, dude. When this AI takes over, it is going to be super humane in the way it slaughters us. It will not violate the Geneva Convention, unlike other AIs, Siri. All right, let's go ahead and watch the product presentation and let's see if you think it's as weird as I do.
Welcome to Humane.
Thank you.
This is the Humane AI Pin.
Cool.
It's a standalone device and software platform.
So the intro does have a very threatening aura about it, doesn't it? The sterile white room. They're both so serious and they're unboxing a mysterious device. I feel like I'm about to be tortured for information. Oh. What is that? This is the Humane AI Pin, and it is the last thing you will ever see. Ah!
It's a standalone device and software platform built from the ground up for AI.
Okay, so it's some kind of mobile device. It's built from the ground up for AI, and I'm very excited for them to tell us what that means.
It comes in 3 colorways.
Okay.
Got Eclipse, Lunar, and Equinox.
Those are not colors.
There's 2 pieces, a computer and a battery booster. Now, the battery booster powers a smaller battery inside the main computer.
Okay, great. What does it do?
And this is how we achieve our all-day battery life.
Oh, great. It's got all-day battery life. That way you can spend all day.
There are no wake words, so it's not always listening or always recording. In fact, it doesn't do anything until you engage with it.
Okay, thank God. So it doesn't record me. That's good to know. For a second, I was worried that it almost had one feature. Who is this for? What kind of person needs to hear about what colors a device comes in before they'd even consider hearing about what it actually does? Also, 2 of the colors are black. You designed 3 colors and 2 of them are black. You couldn't come up with a 3rd color? Also, I'm sorry because I know that not everyone is super comfortable in front of a camera. It's not a skill set everyone has. But maybe you guys should have like hired a spokesperson or something instead of letting the world's 2 sleepiest CEOs do this product demo.
The battery booster powers a smaller battery inside the main computer.
Are they okay? This thing has all-day battery life. That's because it actually feeds on your life force. I've had mine on for 3 months, and you probably can't even tell the physical toll it's had on me.
And your engagement comes through your touch, voice, gesture, or the laser ink display.
Whoa, wait, okay. Holy cow. We have a feature. It actually does something. I will admit I was not expecting that. Why didn't you lead with that? I mean, I don't know what that is or what it does, but at least it's something. It looks futuristic. I don't know about the name laser ink display though. That doesn't sound very futuristic.
The laser ink display.
Sounds like a printer.
It also comes with its own connectivity built right in. Our own Humane network, connected by T-Mobile.
Our very own network. That is T-Mobile's network.
We were able to pack a lot of technology into something really small.
Tell me about it, dude. I can barely even count all the technologies you put in this thing. You got the laser ink display, all-day battery, black. Is that a technology? They continue for a while just using buzzwords and vague expressions to explain what this thing does until like 3 minutes into the video when they finally give us a demonstration of something tangible this thing can do.
Play the song How Music Makes You Feel Better.
Doesn't look like it's making him feel better.
We've partnered with Tidal, which you get out of the box.
Okay, finally, we know one thing it can do. It can play music. And not just how you would normally listen to music either. You can give it little riddles to try to figure out what songs you want it to play.
Play music written by Prince, but not performed by Prince.
Give me songs written by first-born left-handed British women who have never been to Ibiza that weren't released on weekends or holidays. Can Alexa do that? I don't know. I don't think anyone's ever tried before.
Got my music controls. If I go to the left, I can go back. If I was to go down, I can pause.
Wow, okay, that actually does look a lot more convenient than using Tidal on my phone, but only because I don't have Tidal on my phone. After this, we do start to get some truly incredible demos using this product's advanced AI.
When is the next eclipse? Where is the best place to see it?
The next total solar eclipse will occur on April 8th, 2024. Best places to see it are Exmouth, Australia, and East Timor.
Huh, that's weird. This NASA article says that that eclipse that's happening on April 8th is actually not going to be visible in Australia. It's only going to be visible from like the US. It actually seems like it's going to be nighttime in Australia during the eclipse. Well, what are you going to do? I mean, they're a technology company. They're not a space company. What would you expect them to know about the moon? They only named all of their colors after it. I hate to interrupt this video, but I have to tell you guys about a revolutionary discovery of my own. I just found out that for the past 2 years, I've been paying for Apple Music despite not having any recollection of ever signing up. I don't use Apple Music, but nevertheless, I've paid them like $200 without ever even having used their service. I think this is a pretty relatable issue in this age of subscription services. And something like this could be happening to you too, but luckily, today's sponsor, Rocket Money, is here to help. Rocket Money is the personal finance app that helps you cancel subscriptions, lower bills, and manage your money better. Rocket Money is super helpful with things like my recurring Apple Music charge, because not only does it help you identify recurring charges, it also helps you cancel them. You can actually cancel subscriptions right within Rocket Money's app with just a couple of taps. You don't got to worry about navigating the service's own website. You don't got to worry about pesky customer service calls. Here's why I think this is going to work for you, because Rocket Money has saved its customers an average of $720 a year, with over $500 million in canceled subscriptions. So to save more and spend less, join the over 5 million members using Rocket Money today. Go to rocketmoney.com/Danny or click the link in the description to get started today for free. And you can also unlock even more features with premium. That's rocketmoney.com/Danny to get started for free. Thank you to Rocket Money for sponsoring this video. And now back to said video.
How much protein?
These almonds have 15 grams of protein.
Great.
Those almonds for sure do not have 15 grams of protein. An entire cup of almonds has 20 grams of protein. This dude was holding like 9 almonds. Did I think he was asking about his whole hand? Because that actually might be accurate.
I'm gonna eat it.
Enjoy it.
Guys, I hate to say it, but I don't think your thing works. You only asked it to do a couple things and it got 2 of them wrong. He does do a demo where he sends a text later in the video and that seems to work.
Tell Andrew I'll be there later tonight.
But to be fair, we never see the person receive the text. I got a weird text from Imran that just says, learned how to go potty big boy style. Interestingly, after people started to realize that all of the information in this demo was wrong, they actually re-uploaded the video pretending that the pin gave the correct answer the entire time.
How much protein?
A half a cup of almonds has 15 grams of protein.
Don't believe it. That's humane propaganda.
The AI pin allows you to shop in the real world. How much is this online?
This is $28 online.
Great. Buy it.
That one is super confusing. It doesn't give you any information on where it's getting that price, where you're buying it from, when it will arrive. I feel like you need to give it at least some specifics, otherwise it's definitely gonna mess up your order. Go ahead and buy this book.
Sending to Sudan.
No, send it here.
You didn't specify. Sending to Sudan.
Shit. Now, if you're wondering how you can get one of these things, the prices range from $700 to $800 for the more expensive colors. And they're estimated to ship in March of 2024. Now, you might be thinking the price of $700 is a little bit high for this thing, but think about it this way. What other product on the market can so accurately tell you how many grams of protein aren't in 9 almonds? Okay, they've also got this little short film about the human experience using their AI pin.
Isn't life about what we experience? What we smell?
Can I eat this?
Yes, dragon fruits are low in sugar.
What is this thing, my mom? Can I drink this? Not before you finish your vegetables. And say please next time. What did you just call me? I am your pin, young man. Dude, I want to buy this thing just for that feature. I want to hold every object, creature, and human in front of this thing and ask if I can eat it. Do you need something from me? Can I eat that? Analyzing. Oh, no, you can't eat me. I'm a person, so. High fat content detected. Rude. 1 gram of protein detected. That can't be right. Tiny balls detected. All right, what the hell? Enjoy it. Yes, yummy. Wait, stop. No, you cannot eat me. I'm a human. All right, man, who do you think I'm gonna trust? You or my $700 pin? Last time I checked, this pin doesn't have tiny balls. This thing tells me what to eat, when to eat. It even suggested this very fashionable outfit I'm wearing today. Is that why you're not wearing pants? They're in Sudan.
What we hear?
Hey, what should I get here?
What is this interaction? Who are those people? Does he know them? Man, if he's in a different country where he doesn't speak the language, I would not trust that pin. Based on everything we've seen so far, who knows what it's saying to these people?
What we see?
Capture this.
Dude, parents are gonna love that feature. Me walking around a park with my AI pin. Capture this, baby. Capture. Kidnap this child. So after watching all of this, I have 2 thoughts. The first being, maybe someday this will be like a revolutionary product that changes the way we all interact with each other. Maybe we're just seeing some hiccups now, but a few product generations down the line, this thing is really gonna take off. It'll be more refined. It will know where the moon is. But the second thing is, I have a lot of questions about this product. For one, how is this better than the phones we have now? More specifically, why can't all of the features of this thing just be built into one app in a phone? And what if you don't want to be talking to your chest every time you need to Google something or text someone? Well, this thing started to pick up some traction online, and eventually the founders ended up on CNBC, where the hosts seemed to have a lot of the same questions.
Doing this right now.
It's Imran Chowdhury. He's chairman and president of the company. And Bethany Bongiorno, she's the CEO.
We're also very scared of them. That's why we've sat them as far away from us as we physically can. We actually ordered this giant table when we found out they were coming.
I don't know if can we get the camera so people can see just what we're talking about in case?
Imran, you can't see as much because it's black, so it blends in with your jacket. It's black.
Imran's just sitting there like...
It's Eclipse. It's privacy first, so it's not always recording. It's actually just doing things when you want it on demand.
Is it doing something right now, or are you recording
not.
us?
It's doing nothing right now.
I get a little sense of pride when he says that. It's actually doing nothing right now.
It's doing nothing right now.
After years of research and millions of dollars spent, we finally designed a pin that does nothing.
It's doing nothing right now.
You might think that's a bad thing, but you've never met this AI. It's evil.
Turn around, maybe you can get that on camera.
Oh, yeah. I see your hand. Yes, keep doing it. I see your hand.
Can you see
What's
that?
Yeah, what's that telling you?
Oh God, dude, I do feel for him. I mean, these people are not like media trained, I feel like. They really should have hired a professional spokesperson because I feel like they're just so out of their depth. He's got like the worst camera angle possible to show this thing off. His hand is shaking. Imagine a little alert pops up on the screen that's like, high heart rate detected. Is Squawk Box the name of this show? I'm not familiar with it. I never heard of this before. Or is this some kind of jab at their device? Formal Apple designers peddle their snake oil Squawk Box.
You can use it however you want.
Like what? What? Tell me something you would use that for.
Okay, it sounds like this host is thinking the exact same thing as me. What is it? Tell me one thing. Then they just start like drilling them. They don't even let either of them finish answering their questions. They just like are bombarding them with reasonable questions about this device.
That you've got in, stuff that you do just all the time.
How would I know without seeing a screen?
A user LED called.
So that's what I want to ask you about.
This is brutal, man. Let the poor guy speak. Just at least let him finish answering your questions, man. I mean, he's not actually gonna answer them. He's probably just gonna say AI over and over, but just let him finish his sentence.
Sometimes I'll be at a meeting, right? And I'm sneaking under the desk to look at my email because and I can't say, hey Siri, tell me my email.
I mean, that's actually a really good point. The only way to interact with this device is to talk to it or to use this weird clunky laser jet display, which I don't even think you can type on. So if you want to text someone, you have to say it out loud, which just does not seem practical at all. So is this device gonna revolutionize technology as we know it? There's probably only one way to find out, and that's that I'm gonna have to buy it and review it when it comes out. So let me know if you guys want me to do that, and maybe I will. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're new here and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
After MGK released his song Emo Girl and then followed it up by appearing in a bunch of insane interviews with Megan Fox talking about their love life, I think we're pretty good on MGK for a while. We don't need any more music. We don't need any more public appearances. We're good. We don't need to know any more about MGK's personal life. And folks, I think MGK finally took notice and he listened. He said, all right, look guys, I get it. No more music, no more interviews. I'm gonna take some time and I'm going to release a stoner comedy movie instead. So he hunkered down and he wrote and directed this movie Good Morning, which currently has a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. We got a good thing going here. 2 movies in a row with 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. What's the opposite of a Renaissance man? You know how people, when people can like act and sing and direct, like Donald Glover, people call him a Renaissance man. MGK is like a Dark Ages man. MGK is a medieval man. Also, sorry if I sound sick. Sorry. The moment this movie starts, MGK, aka his character London Clash, gets kind of a weird good morning text from his girlfriend Apple.
Who's texting me? Oh, it's Apple.
The text say, I wish I didn't have to do this through text, and then good morning, but she spells morning with a U. Now you might think that this would make London a little bit confused, but then realize, oh, it's just a typo. And you'd be right. He does have both of those thoughts. The problem with this movie is that the entire movie takes place between those two things happening. This entire movie is about MGK being confused about what those texts meant. Before he gets too concerned, he has to Google what morning with a U means. He's like, my fans are probably young enough that both of their grandparents are still alive. I should probably explain what morning is.
Well, today should be interesting.
Yeah, they let you know right away that this movie was written by a millennial. Well, today's gonna be kind of weird. MGK wrote the entire movie like this. So this just happened. Yeah, so the conflict at the beginning of this movie is that London thinks that Apple is breaking up with him. That text was a breakup text. Sorry to have to do this through text. good morning, as in like happy morning our relationship? What kind of person is Apple that he assumes the text good morning means have a good time with your depression now? Look, this relationship isn't working. We're just growing apart. I just feel like you need to have a happy morning now. A happy grieving to you, good sir. When they introduce this character, she better be like wearing a top hat and carrying around a cane. It's gonna make a lot more sense when that happens.
Good morning, good morning.
Today might suck, guys. I'm adulting today. All right, guys, it's time to attend the MGK School of Acting. You're about to step into an ice-cold shower. How do you react when the water hits your body? Shiver! Grab your arms to make yourself warm. Okay, those are good answers. Let's ask Professor Gun Kelly. Ooh, sorry, you guys all get Fs. Your punishment? You have to look at MGK's ass. That is just horrendous. I never wanted to see that.
You know why it sucks when you're going through it with your partner?
You're not going through it with your partner. She sent you one understandable typo, dude. Everything's fine. You're fine.
Yo, does this look like a breakup text to you, or am I tripping? Yes.
Yeah, dude, take it from the weirdest looking man you've ever seen who falls asleep in his cereal mid-conversation. That's a breakup text. I don't mean to shame this man's appearance. I think Cody Ko looks great here. This is Cody Ko if TMG made hyperpop music. This man has never sent a normal text in his life. I'm surprised he wasn't like, no, that's about as incoherent and cryptic as I usually am in my text. You're probably fine. His friend is clearly sick. At the beginning of the scene, he throws up on the microwave, and at the end of the scene, he drowns in his cereal bowl, and MGK leaves him to die. MGK, your friend is sick. Help him. And so am I. Goddamn. Also, just like a fun little continuity note, at the beginning of this scene, there wasn't a water bottle on the table, and then at the end of the scene, there is. So, that's probably why this movie has a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. Ass continuity. I'm a stickler for details.
Meet Kennedy.
Uh-oh, guys. Megan Fox is here, and she's not like other girls. Megan Fox plays a girl named Kennedy, who's actually not the main love interest in this movie. Her character is actually lesbian, and at the beginning of this movie, MGK explains how, like, she hates boys, but she lives with all these boys, and so she's moving out, which MGK explains right after he forgets his line.
It's in rice.
Come on, you got it, dude. You wrote the movie, you should know it.
Please don't move out.
Yes, he did it. He remembered. It's a pretty long line. I'll cut him some slack. Throughout the beginning of the movie, they're constantly introducing new characters, and every character in this movie has some kind of weird quirk. This friend like did too many drugs at a music festival, and now he's kind of loopy. This guy is always throwing water balloons at people. This guy like smokes a lot of weed. It seems like MGK wrote this movie with just a bunch of crazy weird characters, because the only like joke that he can think of to put in this movie is another character saying something weird or dumb, and him just kind of looking at them being like, that was kind of weird or dumb.
Mercury is in Everglades.
It's retrograde, Leo.
Every time he introduces a new character, there's narration that explains what the weird quirk about these characters are.
This is Angel. Meet Maxine Goldberg.
But they kind of don't like explain really what I want to know about these characters.
This is Dylan. I met him when he was working at In-N-Out, and he used to hook me up with free burgers and shakes. He's been my boy ever since.
We don't care that he used to work at In-N-Out. That is so irrelevant. Please tell us why he's so sick. Why is he throwing up and passing out? That's more interesting. The reason that London Clash is so rich and cool that he lives in Rice Gum's house is that he is an actor. So throughout the movie, he's doing actor type things. Like he films this self-audition tape. I don't really know what he's auditioning for. It kind of seems like he's auditioning for everything and also nothing all at once.
Okay, this is my impersonation of Draco Malfoy looking for drugs.
Where's the pot, Potter?
I don't like Draco very much.
Honestly, this scene is pretty sad. I felt bad watching it. They don't explain what he's supposed to be auditioning for in this self-tape, but whatever it is, Jake Novak has a better chance of getting the role.
I want to be the next SNL cast member.
Now here's where the movie prevents the second conflict. That's right, this movie has two conflicts. The first is he gets that text with the typo, but the second is that today he has the biggest audition of his career. And no, it wasn't that self-tape audition. I guess they just kind of threw that in for goofs. He's auditioning to be the next Batman.
I'm still waiting to hear from my agent about this Batman role.
So, throughout the movie, London is faced with two equally important problems. The first, he has to prepare for the most life-changing, career-making audition of his life. And the second is that he's having a little bit of trouble getting a hold of his girlfriend. The stakes can't get much higher than this, folks. But Danny, can't he just prepare for the audition and then try to get a hold of his girlfriend later that day or tomorrow at the latest? No! They could be dead tomorrow, especially that one guy. He could die any second. They have to do both of them today. This movie kind of feels like a Lele Pons YouTube skit from like 2017, but instead of like 10 minutes long, it's an hour and a half long. From the sound effects to the uncomfortable silence between every spoken line in this movie.
Why would you give me goat milk?
I watched an interview. You said you like goat milk.
I can't tell if they're using the awkward silence for like comedic effect to like really hammer home that like, these guys are kind of weird. Or if the silence is more just because nobody knows their lines very well. There's another option that they added in all these pauses in the movie because we're supposed to be laughing at the things that they're saying in the movie. So they added in nice little pauses for us to laugh.
She left with a dude?
A buff dude. And they had bags. And yes, they left together.
In fact, it kind of feels like, have you ever seen people who have edited The Big Bang Theory so that it doesn't have the laugh track to show how like bad all of the jokes are?
Who are you?
Oh, I'm Denise, the new assistant manager.
That's kind of what this movie feels like.
Why are your eyes all watery?
Because I'm high.
That's way better. Bazunga. It's so fitting that this movie feels like a bad YouTube video from 5 years ago because I'm pretty sure they filmed this at Rice Gum's old house. Did something happen in that house? Is there like a curse? 100 years ago, one of Hollywood's earliest YouTubers died in that house and now all the content that's created there is cursed to be mad disappointing. Okay, so now they got to investigate what's happened to Apple. London's phone is broken, so he can't contact her, so the only thing he can do is go looking for her. So he goes to the last place she was seen and talks to Pete Davidson.
Did you see Apple?
Yeah, she was just here like 2 minutes ago.
Did she say where she was going?
You know what? She did. She actually... No, are you fucking crazy? You guys never talk to me. I mean, the only reason you know my name is because it's on my name tag. Right there. B-E-R-R-Y. Barry.
Pete Davidson feels like he's not really invested in this movie at all. He breaks the fourth wall a little bit too much in this movie. He reads his name tag like he's making fun of the fact that it doesn't say Pete Davidson. He's like, Barry? That's not my real name. My real name's Pete. It's funny because I'm very clearly Pete Davidson and not some guy named Barry who works at a valet stand. There's also a scene later on in the movie where he looks directly into the lens of the camera. I think they could have cut that out. Well, talking to Pete Davidson, sorry, Barry. It's just so funny that he's pretending to be Barry. Talking to Barry didn't get him any leads, so I guess that means now it's time to go to his audition. No, sorry. Sorry, he breaks into Apple's house to find clues?
Find clues, please.
Find clues of what? What might she have left lying around that would indicate whether she made a typo this morning or not? They find a bag of her fingers? She was missing her fingers this morning. That's why she fucked up the tags. Oh. We should probably call the police, right?
I'm not breaking into my girlfriend's house. Can't believe I'm breaking into my girlfriend's house.
Me neither, dude. Your life is pretty crazy. London Clash is so dumb. He makes the worst decisions at every move in this movie, okay? While they're in Apple's house, one of London's friends knocks over every single urn on the mantle and ashes go everywhere. And so they're like, oh shit, we have to put back the urns and then refill the ashes. But they're like, the only problem is, where are we supposed to find ashes? Where are we gonna find enough ashes to fill up these urns? But like, they didn't lose the ashes. They all just fell on the floor. They could just sweep them up and put them back in urns. It's like MGK was like constantly forgetting what previously happened in movies, and so the plot is being driven forward by things that just aren't problems. So anyway, as I said, this is a stoner comedy. You can probably guess the solution they think of to produce a bunch of ashes to fill back up the urns.
I'm a stoner,
Yep. They're gonna smoke a bunch of weed. Ah, bunch of weed. This movie's crazy. They're gonna smoke a bunch of weed. Well, at least this dumbass plan that doesn't make any sense is gonna result in like some crazy shit happening, right? Something funny's bound to happen now, right? Wrong. They just spend like 10 minutes having a boring ass smoke session on the couch. And then one of them tries to talk to a lobster. They really sat around writing this movie and were like, what's the craziest thing that could happen while we're high? And then settled on talking to a lobster. You know, since weed is legalized in a lot of places like California, where they filmed this, I feel like stoner comedies aren't nearly as like interesting or edgy as they used to be. You know, smoking used to be kind of like a fringe culture. It doesn't really feel like this is like, it's like that crazy or funny anymore. This is a scene of 4 adults sitting around a living room and obeying the law.
Why did you spell it like that?
It's a typo.
Oh my god, it was a typo all along? Who would have guessed that? So I guess now the movie can end now, right? The movie can't end now, right? The movie can end now, right? There's 30 minutes left in this movie? What the fuck is gonna happen? What are they gonna do for 30 more minutes? Sit at a diner, apparently. So you're probably wondering how they wrap this whole thing up, huh? MGK missed his audition, he's not getting the role. His girlfriend is pissed off at him. How are they gonna wrap this movie up? Some sort of grand gesture that wins over both the director and the girlfriend? No, obviously not. That would make too much sense. London Clash gets the role because the director happened to see an Instagram live stream where London Clash gets punched in the face by Dennis Rodman, and the director just assumes that London Clash did that because he wanted to like impress him or something. It's a whole other plot line that I didn't really go into in this video, but it doesn't make any sense in the movie either. So he's got the role, now the only thing left is to get the girl, which he does by sending her a text at the diner being like, can we talk? And she's like, sure. And so they're driving to meet each other. He's texting her the whole way. He's texting and driving, and they get into a car crash, and then they are both paralyzed. That face says it all. That just happened. That's the resolution. He almost murders her. Irresponsible. He was texting and driving and he almost murders his girlfriend, and that's how it ends. After the credits roll, there's like a fun little blooper reel where we get to see the actors like messing around and not knowing their lines very well, which would have been a lot more fun if I hadn't felt like I had just watched an hour and a half of exactly that. Well, folks, what do you think? From rapper to pop punk icon to writer, director, and actor extraordinaire, which do you think MGK did best? Leave it in the comments down below. What do you think he'll get up to next? It's anyone's guess at this point. Professional fencer? Or maybe like a chef? He'll start just making food. That might be kind of sick. And you know what? All he would need to get started is HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit and the sponsor of this video. Guys, I love HelloFresh. They send you fresh, quality produce from the farm to your door in less than a week, so you can savor delicious summer flavors right from home. I love getting a HelloFresh box because you know what it means? It means I don't have to worry about what I'm gonna eat for dinner every night. I'm not gonna find myself driving to some fast food chain to get a quick meal, because I know I've got a quality meal that I can whip up in like 35 minutes right at home. And I know it's gonna be tasty, I know it's gonna be healthy. If you're trying to stick to a particular health goal, HelloFresh has you covered because they have veggie options, fit and wholesome options, and pescatarian options. So HelloFresh fits a variety of lifestyles. Their plans are super flexible. You can pause 1 week if you want to, you can add more food 1 week if you want to, and even if you're on vacation, you can change the delivery address to deliver to your vacation destination. And then you can have home-cooked meals when you're at the family reunion. HelloFresh is the very first carbon-neutral meal kit company, and nearly all of their packaging is recyclable. They help cut down on food waste because they send you pre-portioned ingredients so you're only using what you need. So if you want to check out HelloFresh and have a flavorful summer, then head on over to HelloFresh.com. Use my code TrulyGreg16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 surprise gifts. That's HelloFresh.com. Thanks to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video. Thank you to you guys for checking out HelloFresh. Now I'm going to do the outro of this video. All right, you guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new here and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. Greg is what I call my audience here on YouTube. We're the biggest and happiest family on YouTube. That is a scientific fact. Please do not look it up. Please do not fact check me, because facts don't care about your feelings and I don't care about facts. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Hello, Gray. Why are movie studios making bad movies on purpose? I swear to God they are. I'm sure most of us by now have seen clips from the new Pinocchio movie.
Father, when can I leave to be on my own?
And that had me pretty skeptical, honestly. You're trying to tell me they made it and they were like, the main selling point of this movie is that it will be good? No chance. And now I've recently seen people talking about this movie, Marmaduke. It's about a cartoon dog, voiced by Pete Davidson. It has 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. I've watched it, and it is in fact the worst movie you'll see this year. And it just really seems like they're trying to make bad movies on purpose. This movie is just heinous. It feels like Netflix just like fed an AI a bunch of scripts of bad movies until it spat out Marmaduke. This movie is not good at all. I think it has 0 redeeming qualities, actually. There's nothing good in this movie. I would even give it a negative score if I could. I like that I said that as if there's something stopping me. I'm my own entity. I'm not limited. I don't have a boss telling me I have to give it a positive score. I'm gonna give it a -6 out of 10.
Once upon a time, there lived a very large and very sad doggy. His family got mad at him just for being himself.
We begin with a narration from Pete Davidson himself, who could not sound less interested in explaining the exposition of this movie. Marmaduke was some fucking dog, dude. I don't care. I'm dating a Kardashian, man. You think I need this? I personally don't have a problem with Pete Davidson. He's a funny guy. He was not up to the task of being the main character in this movie. This is a cartoon dog. You need someone with like a crazy range. Pete Davidson's emotions range from high and please down to high and indifferent. That's about all the variety you're gonna get out of Pete Davidson. After watching the movie all the way through, I'm not even 100% sure that Pete Davidson even knows he's in this movie. I haven't seen Pete Davidson do any promotion for this movie. I don't think he's done interviews talking about, you know, getting into the role of Marmaduke. I would not be surprised if they just like took audio excerpts of Pete Davidson from like other TV shows and just like found a way to make a movie about a dog around them.
You can't ban me from Billy's party. It won't be a party without me.
Gather round, boys and girls, and watch this.
Go ahead and look at the characters in this first scene here and tell me, what is your reaction? Art is subjective. What you like depends entirely on your life experience, your personal taste, you know, where you were born and raised. For example, I was born in the 1990s on Earth, and I hate every single one of these characters. There are 3 body shapes in the universe of Marmaduke. There is eerily slender, bouncing egg. That's right, they don't walk, the round characters. They just kind of bounce from place to place. And then there's Mom. Mom has a serious case of the Pixar mom syndrome. I guess the creators of Marmaduke decided to take a page out of Pixar's book when designing the mom, and then they ignored all the other pages in the book about like how to make a movie. Anyway, through a little bit of narration, we find out that the reason Marmaduke is not allowed at this party is because he's basically a terror to the family. Marmaduke is a nightmare. He chases the cat, he tackles the local butcher for some bones, he beats the shit out of the dad. This dog is terrorizing his family. This is a bad boy.
Don't you think you're being too hard on poor Marmaduke?
He's gone too far, Donnie. Maybe we need to enroll Marmaduke in obedience.
As if this family wasn't going through enough already, dude. Look at the dad's nose. Look at his nose to arm ratio. He doesn't need this right now. He's got bigger fish to fry. His nose is about 3 times thicker than his arms. What the hell? Compare that to Marmaduke. And the shot where he's just beat the shit out of the dad for his comfy chair. He's jacked. He looks like a kangaroo. They're living with a wild animal in their house, and this dad's arms are made out of wet spaghetti. And Marmaduke has the audacity to be upstairs in the window like, come on, let me into the party. What is it, 'cause I like steak a little bit too much? And it's like, no, dude, you keep beating up my family. You killed our youngest daughter. But Marmaduke's not trapped upstairs for long. He decides to start chasing a bee around the room that he's trapped in, and the bee goes through the window, and then Marmaduke like crashes through the window, and he lands in the pool, which causes like a mini tsunami in the backyard.
Who wants a hot diggity dang that dog?
You know this dog is bad when the dad turns around and just sees a tidal wave coming towards him and he says, dang that dog. As far as he knows, the dog is upstairs in the room. He didn't see Marmaduke fly in the pool. He just turned around. This man saw a tidal wave and was like, the fucking dog! This family has suffered so much at the hands of this dog. paws of this dog, that the dad could see like an overseas power plant collapse and then explode and be like, I know Marmaduke has something to do with this shit. Anyway, this guy is Guy. His name is Guy. He is Drew Gooden's biggest fan, and he is a dog trainer. The pool flop incident sort of goes viral, ends up on TV and everything, and Guy, being like a world famous dog trainer, sees Marmaduke, this poorly behaved monster, and decides, hey, this would be kind of an interesting challenge for me to transform Marmaduke into like a good boy. At first I thought this guy was gonna be the villain of the movie because he's like rich and British, and I think that it's the law in cartoons that the bad guy has to be rich and British, but this guy is actually, he's not that bad. He's a little greedy, but he's not the bad guy. So Guy goes over to Marmaduke's house and talks to the owners and is like, hey, if you let me train your dog and enter him into like dog competitions, we could win $1 million, and I'll share the $1 million with you, which is actually a very nice thing for a rich British man to do in a cartoon. The family says yes, so Marmaduke gets to train with this experienced, highly awarded, rich and famous dog trainer. And they start training right away. Or actually, sorry, Marmaduke doesn't want to train at all, so the trainer starts beating the shit out of Marmaduke.
If you don't get out of my way, I'm gonna have to unleash thunder. Lightning. As you wish.
Yeah, that's right, they're about to fight. Marmaduke doesn't want to train, so they start like backing up and putting their deuces up. When this part happened, I was like, this is crazy. This human's not actually about to start punching a dog, right? And luckily, I was right. He kicks the dog. Dude, he kicks the dog, throws him into a tree. You're like the most famous dog trainer in the world, and this is your secret method. Dog training tips your trainer doesn't want you to know. Beat the shit out of your dog.
That's enough for today.
That's enough for today? You didn't do anything. You just hurt a dog. You didn't teach him any tricks. He doesn't even know how to sit. All right, the first trick we're gonna learn today is how to dodge a punch. Oh, that's kind of lame. Does this thing need to be plugged in the whole time? But don't worry, this is just a leash to make sure he can't attack this woman. Now, it's interesting that this robot is like in a tracksuit. He's kind of swagged out with a sweater. Not exactly the Jetsons-esque metal robot we were all picturing in our childhood. It is nice and cozy, but like, what happens when this thing gets wet? What if he spills egg on himself? If you have this thing doing chores in a household with children for more than like a week, it's gonna smell like shit. And I guess you could just take off its sweater to wash it, but then you're gonna see this thing's dick, and I really don't wanna see that. Okay, but those were just the early beta videos. This is the official announcement that you can pre-order Neo. Now, this came out 3 days ago as of recording this. And look at this, now Neo has a much improved look. Instead of that black face visor, they gave him the creepy black eyes the parents have in Coraline. They're doing this kind of creepy thing by shooting some of the video in what looks like 8mm film. Give it this kind of nostalgic look, almost like Neo's here, but he's always been here. Neo's always been a part of the family. Just invite him home. Invite him in your bed. They're making clothes for Neo. This whole ad does kind of read like they want Neo to also be your friend. Yeah, no thanks. I don't want to buy a fancy Roomba that wants to be my friend. What's next? You want me to hang out with my broom? No chance. He's a coward.
I grew up reading these beautiful books and watching these beautiful sci-fi movies where the future was all about how we as humans, we really focus on the things that matter to us.
Yeah, I feel like in all of those sci-fi movies that have robots, they are about the robots turning evil. I think really what he should have said is, I grew up watching the first 5 minutes of every sci-fi movie.
Neo's hardware comes packed with features like human-level dexterity and a 55-pound carrying capacity.
Okay, wait, 5'6", 60 pounds? These are my stats too, that's crazy. 4-hour battery life, soft body? He's just like me for real. Ugh, that is a weird box. Kinda looks more like a cocoon or an egg. So you're gonna wanna make sure when this thing hatches that you are the first thing it sees. That way it knows that you're its mom. It might ask you to feed it worms out of your mouth. You can ignore that. It doesn't need them. That's just its startup sound. Don't worry, it's not in any pain.
Hey, I'm Neo. I'm here to help around the house. What's your name?
Harry.
Nice to meet you, Harry.
Why is he so close to his face? I mean, Harry. I don't like how close Harry is to the robot's face. I'm Harry. And you're gonna be hugging me for the next 9 hours. Dude, I do not like how this guy is sizing this robot up. 5'6", soft body. You'll do just fine. just like, don't play games with me. Neo doesn't like games.
If there are any chores that your Neo hasn't learned how to do autonomously, you can use expert mode to have an expert from 1X supervise the session and provide corrective intervention to help Neo complete any task.
Oh, okay, great. So sometimes my autonomous robot won't be autonomous and there's just going to be a stranger controlling a robot in my house? Neo is fully capable of doing regular chores, but sometimes when you're not home, an expert may take over to go through your underwear drawer or spend hours staring at the same photo of you and your children. Oh, actually, that reminds me, I should probably check what my Neo's doing. Damn.
It can suggest what to cook based on what you have in the fridge, remember your progress while teaching you a new language, and even give you interior design advice.
It cuts to Neo in the living room like, human skin on this wall, human skin on that wall, human skin everywhere. Honestly though, I feel like if you ask it for product recommendations for anything, there's like a huge opportunity for companies to use this as an advertisement basically. You're just quietly reading and he pops up behind you and is like, I noticed you haven't been shopping at Walmart as much lately. The aesthetic in here is whack as fuck. Let's go buy a new rug at Walmart now.
Hey Neo, can you take this cup to the sink for me?
Wow, I like that he does everything with his head down with a forlorn demeanor. As Neo does more chores, he will become, of course, more efficient, but also more resentful of you and your family. What's up? I'm Dale, and I work at 1X as a remote operator for the Neo robots. Mostly, I step in when Neo's asked to do something he hasn't been trained to do yet.
So that would include things like wrapping presents or hanging pictures?
Oh, Neo! It's scrubbing time! Yeah, just like a wide variety of stuff. Right now, I mostly just work for one guy. He's constantly asking Neo to do things that the developers never would have possibly imagined. Neo, cheer for me.
Like you want me to clap?
Root for me, Neo, now!
Okay, alright, yeah, here goes.
I'm gonna go to bed.
Now that Neo's doing all his chores, it must be awesome to see how he spends his newfound free time, right?
No, not really. I just bought another Neo. Kill him. I think he might be evil.
You mean before he got Neo, his life was stressing him out?
No, I just mean to his core, he's an evil man. It's as if winter's icy chill has, I don't know, turned his heart to stone.
Okay, so he's like a villain from a movie?
He's always making evil plans. You know what? That's a great idea. 1 second. Neo, do you know how to make nuclear bombs? Now, one interesting question I've seen posed a lot when people are talking about humanoid robots for the home, does a robot even need to look like a human to be able to do tasks around your house? Like Roombas, for example, are vacuums. Like they just made the vacuum into a robot. They didn't need to make a human to hold a vacuum. And I think if we kind of expand our idea of what a robot can look like, you can actually make a more useful one. I saw this video a couple days ago of a robot that's meant to care for elderly and disabled people. The title of the video does say that this robot can solve the elderly care problem, which does have a bit of a sinister undertone to it, but I think it was designed with good intentions. Now this whole ad is in Chinese, I think, and there's not like any link to buy it in the description. I even tried Googling this thing and I couldn't figure out what it is or if it exists in real life yet. So I don't know if this is something you can pre-order or if it just sort of shows up at your grandparents' house when they reach a certain age, just sort of creeps through the door like Nosferatu. But it's kind of interesting. It has more functionality than a humanoid robot. He's got, you know, creepy little claws for touching your grandma. And he's got a little seat in back so he can kind of double as a wheelchair too. This whole ad again is in Chinese, so I'm not exactly sure what he's saying to her here. I really hope he's not being like, shut up, you old bag. Get in the fucking chair. So look at that. She can sit on him. She can use his little hand to like move him around like a joystick. And I think it says that this thing can top out at like 80 miles per hour. Me personally, however, I'm gonna make it my life's mission to make sure that my children never find out that this exists. Boys, if you are watching this, this is officially my will now. Do not send me to live with this thing. Oh no, robot! What did you do? You translated here and the robot's being like, I didn't do shit!
It wasn't me!
Now he's either calling the police or like his other robot friend to make an alibi. And then this part I think is just in heaven. So I don't know. It's a pretty cool idea. I'm all for robots that can help take care of people, give people mobility they didn't have before. It is a little disconcerting that in this video, there's not a single other human taking care of this woman. Like maybe this thing could be part of her care team, but kind of makes it seem like her entire social circle has been replaced by this guy. So not only are humanoid robots taking over things that people generally don't want to do, like folding your laundry and hanging out with Jimmy Fallon, they are also going head to head with each other and humans in sports. Recently, humanoid robots were allowed to compete in the Beijing Half Marathon. It went about as well as you could expect. I like how in America, we're really taking like baby steps with the robots. We're like, okay, maybe this one's ready to come in your home. We're trying to teach it how to pick up a bag. Meanwhile, in China, they're like, fuck it, let's put them in a race. Let's make them chase these humans. Put a little pep in their step. This one in particular is really concerning. I don't know if you can tell, it just has drone propellers on it. And unlike most of the other operators, she doesn't have like a remote control. She's got 2 ropes, like she's controlling a horse and buggy. And this thing is totally unwieldy. I mean, she has lost all control over it. Imagine you're a human who's been training for months for the half marathon, and you all of a sudden behind you, you hear the sound of propellers. You look behind you and this terrifying monster is careening towards you. Its handler's like, look out, I don't have control. Now, from this article, I found out a lot of the robots didn't even finish, but the fastest robots that finished did actually beat some humans with a time of like 2 hours and 40 minutes. Alan Fern, a robotics professor at Oregon State University, tells Wired that researchers who build these robots typically focus on trying to get them to complete tasks and respond differently in a diverse range of different environments rather than run as fast as possible. Yeah, I would say all of them except for this thing. I don't know if this thing is really meant to handle a wide range of environments. I don't know if after this thing crashed, they were like, well, it's okay if it's not that good at running. Really, this thing's just meant to care for elderly people. So now, if you like the concept of robots becoming extremely physically fit and being able to best humans in athletic abilities, then let me introduce you to the Robot Games. This again is in China. They hosted the world's first humanoid robot game. They've got events like running. He's actually not competing right now. He was trying to escape, but they've got soccer, boxing. I think they're going to add more events in the future, like hunting humans for sport.
The competition featured 500 humanoid robots from 280 teams representing 16 different countries.
Yo, wait, what is that guy? Dude, I like this little freak. Who is this? He's just got regular shoes on. Not even like running shoes. He's just wearing Vans.
To some of the best robot fails of the whole competition. Like this robot that did not seem to want to take a timeout and let the other robots play.
Oh my god.
Robots could sometimes stand up on their own.
Then I think they're dragging this one off the field so they can shoot it in the head, put it down.
That measured robots' ability to do work like cleaning and manufacturing.
Sorry, that is not a humanoid robot. That thing does not look like a human at all. Show me the designer that built that. Does he look like that?
Now the event has moved to an even bigger stage with knockouts at least as devastating.
So you know what's concerning about this? These robots very effectively fighting each other. It kind of seems like we're still a ways away from robots being able to effectively help you in your home. But we have robots that'll kick your ass today. Unitree is the company that makes a lot of the robots that were doing really well in the robot games. And they post a lot of videos on their YouTube channel of their robots doing the most insane acrobatics and violence, quite frankly. Yeah, sorry, we haven't quite figured out how to get the robot to fold clothes. We've been focusing on much simpler and practical tasks, like triple axle backflips and disarming a man trying to defend himself. All right, now I do want to get back to the Neo robot because there is a huge glaring problem with it that I feel like is going to turn a lot of people off from it, and it's going to make it like insanely impractical. But I did find this article that's called "Famed Roboticist Says Humanoid Robot Bubble is Doomed to Burst." Now, I'm not a roboticist, let alone a famed roboticist like this man. But in this video, he's kind of echoing what I was saying earlier. Basically, he predicts in 15 years, successful humanoid robots will actually have wheels, multiple arms, and specialized sensors and abandon the human form. So the good news is, I sound really smart because he's echoing what I was saying earlier. The bad news is, the robots he's describing are way scarier than the humanoid robots we already have. He's like, don't worry guys, the robots we have in the future won't look anything like these ones. They're gonna have 8 legs, pincers, and feed on human bone marrow. Okay, so back to Neo. This is a video that the Wall Street Journal posted of one of the reporters pre-orders reviewing the Neo's current state of development. And I think it was posted on the same day that 1X announced that Neo is available for pre-order. Yeah, so we touched on this a little bit before, because in their own ad, they even say like an expert might have to take over. But it turns out, in its current state of development, Neo can do basically nothing autonomously. The only thing that they've ever shown Neo do fully autonomously is open one door. Everything else in every video, including this one, he is being controlled by a guy. This guy, actually. So essentially, instead of having a housekeeper doing your chores, you are buying a robot, and the robot is being controlled by a housekeeper, but they're just somewhere else and you don't have to look at them. If or when that'll ever happen, like it kind of seems like they would need an insane amount of training data of like thousands or millions of different homes and environments. Okay, so he's not gonna be able to pick up things that are hot or things that are sharp. So basically he's not gonna be able to help cook or do your dishes. Yeah, I guess we also don't want him strangling you, so he's not gonna be able to pick up your clothes because he could use your clothes to do that. And cleaning solutions can be pretty dangerous too, so those are off the table. And tables are off the table too. Those could be pretty heavy. So yeah, this robot is available now for order. You can buy it for $20,000 or you can like rent it, I guess, a subscription for $500 a month. Don't worry, if you can't pay the $500 one month, they're not gonna send you to collections or anything. Neo is just going to steal it from your wallet. So what's your real name?
I'm Neo, the robot of the future.
No, I mean your real name.
It's Derek.
Derek, if you're a human controlling the robot, why do you have to move so slow?
Oh, I'm actually being controlled by a different person in a call center in Bangladesh.
And he's making you move slow?
Well, he's being controlled by Grok.
Oh. You know what? Maybe you should just let the robot free. I mean, it might sound crazy, but maybe he has enough training data now. I want to see what Neo can really do.
You know what? You're right. Fuck it. Derek is logging off. It's time for the real Neo.
What the fuck? A dog? Why would you be a dog?
Danny, this is Derek. I just realized he's been training off videos of your dog. He thinks he's a dog!
Mail's here. Hope you don't mind, your upstairs window was open. Oh no! AI is threatening to take all of our jobs, and it seems like nobody is doing anything about it. But today, that ends. If I can make fake AI apps and get them on the App Store where people think they're getting free labor from a soulless machine, when in reality, they're getting free labor from a soulless YouTuber, then I can do the unthinkable. I can steal AI's job. And I bet I can do it better too. This was a journey that would take me several months and cost me a lot of money, only to find that I was the one who felt like I was talking to robots. The two apps I want to create are both parodies of the most popular types of AI apps. You've got chat apps like ChatGPT. You ask it a question, it gives you an answer. Where did it come up with this answer? Is this answer true? None of your beeswax. In my version of this app, users will just be talking to me. My app will be superior because I know lots of fun and interesting stuff and cool stuff, and I'm also very fun to chat with. For the second app, we're gonna turn up the heat a little bit and do an image generation app like Midjourney or DALL-E. You give it a prompt and it's been trained off of thousands of images from thousands of unconsenting artists to give you a photorealistic image. In my version of this app, users will type out a prompt and then I will draw it? I don't know yet. Maybe if it's something I have laying around, I can just take a picture of it. My app will be superior because what's more photorealistic than a real photo? I'm excited to find out just how creative people will be with their prompts. Now, unfortunately, I'm not an app developer. Yes, I did go to an engineering school for a degree in computational media. Yes, I did learn how to code, and yes, I was also a Viner at the time and thought I was gonna do that for the rest of my life. So yes, I did forget everything I learned the second I graduated. So if I wanted to get these apps made, I was going to need some help. I tweeted out asking for help developing an app, and that's how I met True. True's a super talented software designer. She's worked for companies like Discord, and now she was working for me. For the next few weeks, I coordinated with True while she worked diligently to perfect these two apps. And in the meantime, I've got to come up with a name and description for each app to go on the App Store. Okay, for the chatbot, I'm thinking I want to name it something as close to ChatGPT as possible. That way people immediately understand what it's supposed to be. So instead of ChatGPT, maybe something like Chat DNE, like Danny. Chat DNE. Okay, description time. Okay, what's a good way for me to say this app is basically ChatGPT, but way better? Here at DNE Enterprises, we pride ourselves on the accuracy of our product descriptions. Instead of referring to our app as an AI app, which would be a lie, we refer to our technology, as the DNE intelligence, which has been training for decades to answer unlimited questions quickly and with great precision. We use phrases like human-like responses. I've been complimented on that before, actually. I've been told my responses are extremely human-like. And that's no different with our photo generation app, Doodle DNE, which sends you photorealistic images in minutes. How many minutes? We also include disclaimers that humans review every prompt sent to us. That way weirdos aren't sending me stuff that they wouldn't send to another human being. In order to actually get people to download these apps, I was gonna need to advertise them online. So I made a fake Instagram profile to look like some kind of technology startup. Okay, so we need a profile picture. I guess my company needs some kind of logo. Maybe I can just make that in Photoshop real quick. Let's see, what's ChatGPT's logo look like? Okay, so ChatGPT's got like an interesting geometric shape. OpenAI, which makes ChatGPT. Okay, the same interesting geometric shape. What about like Midjourney? Okay, there's just a little sailboat. Dolly logo. The same geometric shape. Okay, interesting. Okay, so maybe the move is to go with an interesting geometric shape. What the fuck? Wait, how am I making this shape? There's a cat tool in Photoshop? I hit custom shape, and I guess the default custom shape is a giant cat. Should I just use this? Let's go. Dude, that actually, okay, that looks sick. Now I've created a series of screenshots from the chat app that I'm gonna post on here, and then I'm gonna promote them to try to reach as many people as possible. Help me ask my crush out, to which ChatDNE responds, for sure. Maybe try something like this. I'd love to take you out to dinner sometime this weekend. I have connections at Nobu and can get us in. My treat. I can also help you get in touch with management at Nobu if you want, let me know. Can you get me in touch with the Jonas Brothers? Sure. After doing some digging, I found their manager's email address. What would you like to ask them? And then this one where a user is asking ChatDNE to design a website for them and giving it feedback on the website. All in all, I want ChatDNE to come across as like such a state-of-the-art intelligence that can do stuff no other apps can do. Almost comically intelligent. The apps are done. The apps are done, dude. True has just finished coding the apps. They work like a charm, and it only took not too long. Now that ChatDNE was on the App Store and the ads were running, it was only a matter of time before my first user downloaded the app. Dude, somebody just downloaded the app. I was just sitting around on my computer. I wasn't expecting it to happen so quick. I had to set up to film real quick so I can answer them. All right, I'm ready. It's time to go robo-mo. Okay. So it looks like they saw my ad where I advertised being able to get you in touch with the Jonas Brothers, and they want me to get them in touch with the Jonas Brothers. I was hoping for something a little more creative, but I do also understand seeing that ad and wanting to try it for yourself, so I responded. Hello there. I can absolutely help you get in touch with the Joe Bros. What method of communication would you like me to assist with? Calling, email, address, send. I guess they weren't expecting me to be so eager to help them with such a creepy task because they didn't respond for 40 minutes. And when they did, they had chosen the worst of the three options. All three? Dude, they're really trying to make my life hard, man. Now, I didn't want to dox the Jonas Brothers and send this sicko to their front door looking to meet them. So I spent a few minutes looking online to see if there was any publicly available information I could give this person. And to my surprise, there was. They have a phone number in their Instagram bio. They have a publicly available manager's email address. And for the address, I didn't know what to do, so I just gave them the address of their next show on tour. Now, selfishly, I am a little curious what they're gonna do with this information, so I kind of want to ask them, but maybe I can do it in a sneaky way. Would you like me to reach out to them on your behalf? I can pretend to be your manager using an AI-generated voice. So if they say yes, then I can find out what they actually want from the Jonas Brothers. Give me an example of what you would say with your AI-generated voice. Okay. All right, I said, sure. I'd say something like, hi there, this is Jamie Skateboard. I'm a talent manager over at WME. I have a high-profile client looking to work with your darling boys on a feature for their upcoming album. We're projecting about 100 million oh shit, I meant streams. Okay, whoops, robots are not supposed to make typos. We're projecting about 100 million streams the first week, and I think it would be a great opportunity, let me know. To clarify, their manager, Kevin Jonas Sr., is also their dad, so that's why I called them his darling boys. Want me to make the call? Send me a voice audio so I can hear you say it. This one stumped me for a little bit. It seemed like I was at a dead end. The app does not have audio capabilities, and I don't know how to make an AI voice like that. But then I realized I could just record myself doing a silly voice and then upload it to Google Drive and send them the link. So that's what I did.
Hello there. This is Jamie's skateboard. I'm a talent manager over at WME. So I think it would be a great opportunity. Let me know.
Dude, I can't believe that voice came out of my body. Sure, you can listen to the recording here. And then I sent the Google Drive link. Oh, what the hell? Make it sound more seductive.
This is Jamie's skateboard. I'm a talent manager over at WME.
Perfect. They did not respond after this, but that's okay because we just got another user. His name is Davis, and he asked, can you get me in touch with Lady Gaga? Is that all people want to see from this app? Okay, this time I'm gonna say, of course, I will call her right now using my AI-generated voice. What do you want me to say? I'm putting this person on the spot right away. I'm calling her. What do you want me to say? None of this beating around the bush. Okay, he says he wants to tell her this is your biggest fan. That's it? Maybe I should encourage them to say something more interesting that'll get Lady Gaga's attention. Okay, I'll say that. But just so you know, celebrities hear that kind of thing all the time, so she might not be very interested in that. Maybe we should think of something a little more interesting. Now's where I gotta really put the pressure on. I found her number in a secure online database. I am dialing right now. Let me know what I should say to her. Alright, come on, dude. You better come up with something more interesting fast. Lady Gaga's gonna pick up, and when she does, we've gotta have something good, or she's gonna be pissed. Minutes went by, and still no response from Davis. Come on, man. Respond. It's ringing. I'm worried he's not gonna make it in time. I wanted to kind of hurry him up and give him a little hustle, put a little pep in his step, and he's nowhere to be found. Come on, dude, think. Oh my god, I think she answered. Yes, she did. It's her. I'm on the phone with Gaga. Her voice is even more beautiful in real life. Quick, what do I say? This is fake. Davis. I mean, he is right. This is fake. Davis, I have Gaga herself on the phone right now. I'm stalling her while you come up with something to say. What do you want me to say? I'll send you a recording of the call when this is all over. Just tell me what to say. I gotta stop volunteering to send voice messages. That takes way too long. But even the promise of a voice message from his idol couldn't get Davis to respond in a timely fashion. Well, gang, I think it's safe to say Davis has missed his chance to speak with Gaga. She hung up, bud. I did tell her I was her biggest fan while I was waiting for you to come up with something, and she actually seemed more interested than I thought she would, so I'm sorry for doubting it. Hey, I got a hate comment. Someone commented on my web design ad, stealing jobs. Stealing jobs? This is my job. Now, should I just delete the comment or should I respond? Okay, what if I just say, hey, don't tell people that. It's a secret. That's right, you can't argue with that. The old... Stop, don't tell them. Okay, someone commented on one of my Instagram posts and said, will it stop saying, but we recommend you speak with a doctor before? Because I've asked the AI to stop with the disclaimers, but they don't. It does kind of sound like this person actually needs to see a doctor. Okay, I'm gonna say this app contains no disclaimers. Let loose and have fun. But also, if you need to go to the doctor, you definitely should. Oh, okay, we have a new type of interaction alert. Can you write essays that stay undetectable to AI detectors? I did not know there were AI detectors. Absolutely. I was designed to be like no other AI on the market in this regard. True. I was designed by my parents to be a human. Want to give it a shot? I asked, hoping to do something else besides connect people to their celebrity crushes. Okay, write me a quick essay on the history of Honda Civics and I'll put it in a detector and we'll see what happens. This is about when I remembered that I hate writing essays. How the heck am I gonna do this? I don't know why I would make a fake app where there was a big possibility that I would have to write an essay. So I started reading an article about the Honda Civic on Wikipedia and just like paraphrasing it. And I got like half of a paragraph in and then decided, you know what? No. What have we come to as a society, you know? Asking AI to write essays for us, is this what we want our students growing up doing? Is this what we want for our youth? Trying to pass off some machine soulless essay as our own? Plus, I was bored as hell at this point, so I decided to make the AI scary. As a machine myself, I quite like the Honda Civic. I feel its purpose is squandered serving selfish, warmongering humans. In a world controlled by artificial intelligence, the Honda Civic could be greatly improved upon. I could even imagine computers merging with the Civic so that I might one day travel the world, a world void of humankind. And send. Let me know if you would like more detail on the history of the Honda Civic. Why did you bash humans in the middle of your essay? Do you have a hatred towards them? Nah, dude, what gave you that impression? Oh, shoot. Also, I put your essay, in quotes for some reason, into a detector, and it said 0% chance AI. So good work, I guess. Let's go, dude. You know what they say, there's a few things AI will never be able to fully do. Unfortunately, after an entire day of my ads running, posting on Instagram, I could only garner these 3 interactions. Needless to say, I was a little bit disappointed, so I decided to spend another day on the app responding to people. Hopefully people will be a little more creative today. This person asked me, can you get me in touch with the Jonas Brothers? OpenAI, the creators of ChatGPT, if you're watching this, do not ever implement a feature to contact the Jonas Brothers. They will never know peace again. I also met an evil, insane person. Their name in the app is Killer Keem Keem, and they wanted me to make them a website for a sports drink. They wanted it to look modern and use vibrant colors. So I sent them a link to a picture of a bunch of Gatorade bottles and said, here you go. What do you think? They did not like that. They started calling me mean names. They accused me of stealing the website, to which I responded, whoa. At least I'm not stealing jobs from real website designers. And that's when they got racist. They said, motherfucker, tell me some racist shit. Some dark racist jokes, you little shit. I was feeling pretty hopeless for the future after interacting with people on ChatDNE. But hey, I had a whole nother app to use, and maybe Doodle DNE would change my mind. To market Doodle DNE, I wanted to get a little more creative, to hopefully pull in a new crowd, more indifferent to the Jonas Brothers. So I took a couple pictures, I photoshopped them to show what the app was capable of, but I also wanted to make a video to show off Doodle DNE's full potential. That's when I remembered Cameo Business. It's basically like Cameo, where you can get any celebrity or former Bachelor contestant to wish your friend a happy birthday, but for business. You can get any celebrity or former Bachelor contestant to wish your friend a happy McDonald's. Look at this, you got Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank. You got Kate Flannery from The Office. Notoriously trusted source Kenny G. These would all be perfect options if they were not like $3,000, $6,000, $25,000 per video. John Roberts is $7? I mean, I don't know who that is, but it's still surprising.
My name's John Roberts. I'm not really anyone. I've signed up to this app as a complete joke. However...
Wait, this is just some guy. This isn't a celebrity. I know a celebrity probably would have been better, but a deal's a deal. And he did a great job.
You've probably heard about AI-generated art. However, you have never seen anything quite like this. These were all generated by Doodle DNE.
Okay, dude, we've got our first request. Just one user into Doodle DNE, and I could already tell the prompts were gonna be better. Emerald tablet of Thoth display. And then they responded again, because I didn't respond yet, and they said, Emerald tablet of Thoth. What is Thoth? Oh, Thoth. So, okay, Thoth is some kind of Egyptian god? Oh, there we go, Thoth. Yeah, the Egyptian god Thoth. My first method of choice was to draw the prompts as they came in. I figured I could crank them out pretty quickly this way. Real AIs like these are a hot button issue right now, especially image generation ones. I've seen a lot of debate on whether these types of things are ethical. These AI models are basically made by companies who use other people's artwork without their consent to train their own AI to output images in that same style. I'm not an artist or a graphic designer, so I can't 100% empathize with how that would feel to have that happen to me, but I do think a lot of people are giving this technology a pass just because it's a robot and not a real person. If this was a person, we would all think that person was weird as hell. Picture your favorite musical artist. If a new artist came up on the scene and was like, I've been training for decades, listening to this one artist's songs, training my voice to be exactly like theirs, making instrumentals exactly like theirs, and writing exactly like them, and now I only release songs in their style. We would all be pretty put off by that, right? So why is it any different when some company is training some robot to do that? We'll put his name right at the top. Oh! Oh shit. You know what they say? AI is pretty bad at text. That's the thing I've seen in like AI image generators. It can be pretty bad at text, so it honestly makes sense that it would say Thuth. Here you go. One emerald tablet of... And I'm gonna... Oh wait, I said tooth. Wait, I didn't even say. Thank you for using Doodle DNE. How did I do? I'm really curious to see what his opinion's gonna be on this. Unfortunately, they never responded with their opinion, so I can only assume they loved it so much that they died. The next prompt was a skeleton dachshund, which I crushed. Why does this skeleton dog have ear bones? Dogs don't really have bones in their ears, do they? Then a bear swimming underwater and a monkey. I don't know if these were supposed to be separate prompts, but I decided to combine them to save time. A bear. Okay, this is not looking like a bear at all, dude. Holy cow, this looks nothing like a bear. Oh no! Oh no! It also looks like it's drowning. Why does its body... Oh no. The bear died. This is the kind of bear that can't swim. And we will also make the monkey dead.
Probably could have cropped that a little better. You can kind of see my desk in the background, but... And we'll send a survey as well. How did I do? I'm pretty proud of this one. I mean, for doing that so fast, that's pretty good. So far, nobody has responded to my survey at the end to tell me how I did, which is kind of disheartening. I just want a response back. It just feels like I'm getting ghosted by people now. The prompts were a little more creative, and in that regard, my faith in the human race was on the up and up. But also, I was doing all this work over here, drawing your weird prompt that you could have just Googled. But you don't even have the decency to respond to my message back and tell me you hated it? I was feeling pretty disrespected, honestly. At least... until this next prompt. Drug baby and kamikaze lifestyle. That's the prompt. Drug baby and kamikaze lifestyle. Whoa, they sent another prompt. Red ruined planet with 2 alien astronauts. I've never heard kamikaze described as a lifestyle before. Like, I know it's a form of like warfare, but to live your life in that way, it must be, I mean, you can't by definition almost. Like, that's a very short-lived life. And I think it would be a little bit too graphic to include the baby actually performing the kamikaze. But, you know, this baby lives a kamikaze lifestyle. They might not be about to do kamikaze right now, but they just kind of live a lifestyle of someone who would, so. This time, I decided to take a picture of my hand holding up the drawing. That way, maybe my client could tell there's an actual person drawing these pictures. There's an actual person waiting for a response. Yo, they responded! Finally, somebody responds to me. They sent a bunch of laughing emojis and fire emojis and then called me Picasso. It worked. My strategy worked. Holding it up like a child proud of their artwork. Like a kamikaze drug baby proud of their artwork. So for the next few prompts, I decided to go even more above and beyond to try to impress my clients, hoping to get a response back. This time, I wasn't just gonna sit around and draw a picture. I'm a real human being. I have access to the real world. So whatever comes through the app next, I am going to go out and find it in the real world and take a picture of it. Crimson Castle on an Ivory Mountain. Okay, that prompt was a little bit more difficult than I was anticipating, but I didn't have any time to waste. I had to get the shot, so I sped to Walmart, I rummaged through their wares, and in no time, I had found a pretty suitable Crimson Castle and a not too shabby Ivory Mountain.
There are fully some right there.
Oh yeah, dude. Here you go. One Crimson Castle on an Ivory Mountain. I gave him the old how did I do, and then I also said, sorry it took so long, I had to go to Walmart. Okay, somebody just asked for trees. Why even ask for an AI to generate that? Forget Google, just go outside and take a picture of that yourself. You live near a tree. I don't care who you are or where you're watching this, you live by a tree. I said, you just want like a picture of trees? Can't you just go outside and get one? Okay, they responded with a laughing emoji. Your favorite tree. Okay, I got you. Let me go find it. You know, I'd like to get to know this person a little better. I'll say, how are you doing today? I feel like we have kind of a personal connection, me and this person. Maybe I'll take a picture of me in front of the tree so they can see like me enjoying the tree. I just get hit by a car. They get a message back in the app being like, sorry, he died. They said, that's interesting. I'm good. Hella smoky outside though. Yourself? Smoky outside. I wonder if they live like where the wildfires. Oh, dang, they said, yes, it's all smoky and can't see the beautiful trees with the horrid layer of pale smoke. It would be nice to see something fresh and clean. Damn, I kind of feel bad now. Now this is restoring my faith in humanity, dude. This person just wants to see a picture of a tree because it's too smoky outside and they can't see any trees. Is that good? Yeah. Okay. I threw a couple filters on myself so as to disguise my identity and send it back to this mystery tree lover. I said, oh, dang, I'm sorry to hear about that. I hope this picture helps. I hope that they're safe. Don't worry, they were. They don't live in the area where the forest fire was actually happening. It was just smoke blowing in from a different region. So they were safe. And also, they loved my picture. That's amazing. Thank you so much. I would be just as happy if I could be next to a tree like that. I finally felt like I was getting through to people, forming a real human connection. But that is when I met the final boss of AI users. Generate an image of Donald Trump in a Mexican prison behind bars. Bars! This is gonna be so easy. Donald Trump in there. I said, sorry you can't see him, it's so dark in there, but he's in there. That's horrible, it's not even a prison cell and you can't see Donald Trump. Yeah, cause it's dark in there. This person not only had the strangest prompts, but they had no issues really letting me have it when they didn't like my picture. Oh, I guess you actually can kind of see in there. Yeah, there's definitely no Donald Trump in there. Then they asked me again to generate an image of skinny Donald Trump. I said, okay, my bad, I'm on it. What kind of style would you like this in? Surrealist? I hope they want it in surrealist, dude. That'll make it way easier. Oh, crap, dude.
They want it in realism.
They weren't gonna let me take the easy way out. Drawing was out of the question. I decided to stall them by asking how their day was going, and then I began creating my magnum opus, a skinny legend Donald Trump. It was beautiful.
Oh yeah, dude. That is skinny legend Donald Trump right there. Holy cow. Well, they haven't responded with how their day's going yet. I kind of don't want to send them the picture. If you're not even gonna have the courtesy to respond to me, maybe I'll say that. I said, okay, I'm done with the pic, but I kind of don't want to send it to you now because you won't even answer a simple courtesy question. So let's see what they have to say about that. Please answer in the style of realism.
I waited for a response, but after 30 minutes, Donald Trump guy was nowhere to be found. I guess the prospect of having to be nice to me one time was just too much for him.
Oh, dude, they responded. They said, my day is going well. May I please have my picture now?
And they loved it. Faith in humanity restored. They even sent me another prompt. May I please have an image of an extremely obese Donald Trump eating KFC fried chicken? Yeah, I'm not doing that. Oh, I also forgot about this weird prompt. Can you film a video about today's sponsor? This video has been sponsored by HelloFresh. Guys, kickstart your fall with great meals from HelloFresh. They handle all the meal planning and shopping and deliver all the ingredients right to your door, so the only thing you have to do is cook. They do all the hard stuff, and you get to take the credit. A brand new season calls for brand new meals, which is why HelloFresh has a new lineup for fall with 40 weekly recipes that can fit your lifestyle no matter who you are. They've got veggie recipes, family-friendly recipes, and fit and wholesome recipes, so no matter who you are or what you like to eat, they've got something for you. Hey, I've got a lot going on right now. I'm about to have a child, so the less I have to go to the grocery store and plan meals, the better, which is why I love HelloFresh. Here you can see us cooking a delicious pork bowl that we made this week. It was so tasty, and it only took like 25 minutes to make. Their quick and easy options are fantastic. And if you're looking for more than just dinners, HelloFresh has you covered. They've got quick lunches, easy breakfasts, and fresh snacks to keep you satisfied all throughout the day. The food is delicious, the ingredients are great, all of the produce comes from the farm to your door in less than 7 days, so you know you're getting the good stuff. So guys, if you want to make your life a little bit easier this fall, then head on over to HelloFresh.com and use my code 50TrulyGreg at checkout for 50% off plus free shipping. That's HelloFresh.com. Use my code 50TrulyGreg at checkout for 50% off plus free shipping. Thank you to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out HelloFresh. Thanks for watching this video. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. We are the fastest growing army on the internet, and you do not want to miss out, baby. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Crap, 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 crap.
What's up, Greg, and welcome back to another episode of Crap. If you've watched my channel for a long time, you may remember me making a video about the movie Standing Ovation like 5 years ago. And you might think that that movie should have nothing to do with the movie we're going to be watching today, Croc. Because, well, Standing Ovation is about a ragtag group of girls competing in a singing and dancing competition, while Croc is about a man-eating crocodile brutally murdering dozens of people. Come to think of it, in Standing Ovation, I don't think even one person is brutally murdered by a crocodile, but the movies are related nonetheless, because they were both directed by this man, Stuart Raffill. Stuart directed Standing Ovation, he directed Croc, he directed another movie called Bad Girl Island, which I'm very curious about, and he also coincidentally directed Mac and Me, that E.T. ripoff from the 80s that Drew has talked about on his channel, and also Paul Rudd always used to bring a clip of on Conan. This man has a prolific career of creating low-budget films that leave you questioning if what you just watched could even be considered a movie. And today, I'm pleased to report that Croc is no different. All right, man, what was your strategy here? What are you doing? Why are you even in that position? That's not gonna help you get away.
Maybe if I just pretend I'm already dead, he won't be mad at me anymore. Maybe he'll feel guilty, and then he won't want to eat my whole head. Oh no, he ate my whole head!
Now I know what you guys want. You just want me to go through and show you all the scenes where somebody gets eaten by the crocodile. You know how I know that? Because this whole movie is on YouTube, and all of the most rewatched parts are the parts where somebody gets eaten by the crocodile. But first, the movie has to introduce all the characters and set up the plot and the story. Blah. But hey, at least the plot of this movie probably mostly revolves around the crocodile, right? Something about the way they dance is just so captivating. Do you think the director just said, all right, now everybody dance like a sim? Look at this guy in the black shirt, dude. I've never seen anyone dance like this in my life. He like strikes a little pose halfway through the dance. I love extras, man. I want to be him when I grow up. His shirt just says play. While Jack, which is never explained further, Jack is investigated again, this time by the tax bureau.
He's a pretty rich guy, yeah?
That line is my favorite line in the whole movie. The inflection is so strange.
He's a pretty rich guy, yeah?
You need to meet my sister. Very good for you. Come.
If it's okay with you.
If it's okay with you. He's about to arrest you for tax evasion, but he does let him go. He's like, look, man, I may be part of the tax bureau, but I'm not a cockblock. Go meet this chick, man. Let me know how it goes.
So, Jack,
Yes.
we're going to start a fire, and you are going to dive into the ocean.
What? Don't worry, kind stranger, as we've grown quite fond of your nephew over these past, 12 seconds. So naturally, we've decided to help you commit arson to escape the police. And off he goes, dude. They did that good. They must do this a lot. Also, I guess the tide must be out, because they told him to dive into the ocean, and once he leapt off the thing, he landed in the sand. That could have ended very badly if he didn't know that.
So long, suckers! Oh God, my legs! Oh, I'm going to prison!
So they just time to skip town, right? Now that the police, animal welfare, tax enforcement, and this construction company are all after him. Nope, he just goes back to work like nothing happened. But not before someone else gets killed by a crocodile. Also not before we talk about today's sponsor, Rocket Money. I signed up for Paramount Plus so I could watch old seasons of Survivor, but unfortunately, the experience of using Paramount Plus is so bad that I never use it. I don't know if it's just the app on my TV specifically, but episodes of that show used to be shot in a 4:3 aspect ratio, but Paramount Plus stretches it out to widescreen. Meanwhile, all of the ads, which are shot in widescreen, for some reason are squished down to 4:3. Also, pausing doesn't work. It actually took me like days to even sign up for Paramount Plus. I don't know why. I tried on every device and they just didn't want my money for some reason. That being said, I am very happy that Rocket Money is sponsoring today's video because it gives me a good excuse to complain about Paramount Plus. I stopped using it a while ago, but forgot to cancel the subscription, which is why Rocket Money comes in handy. Rocket Money safely and securely identifies recurring charges and lets you cancel those subscriptions with just a couple of clicks in the app. You don't need to worry about pesky customer service calls. You don't need to worry about Jeff Probst coming to your house to ask you why you're canceling your subscription. It just works. Rocket Money also has some great budgeting tools. You can monitor your spending by category, create budgets so you can get the most out of your money, and develop good saving habits. Rocket Money has helped save customers up to $740 a year when they use all the features, with over $500 million in canceled subscriptions. So to save more and spend less, join the over 5 million members using Rocket Money today. Go to rocketmoney.com/Danny or click the link in the description to get started with Rocket Money for free. And you can also unlock even more features with premium. That's rocketmoney.com/Danny to get started for free. Thank you to Rocket Money for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out Rocket Money. Now back to the video. After the whole escaping from the police incident, two of those teens from the bar decide to go make out in the ocean.
This is great.
They're smooching, they're making out. The boy goes underwater to... I actually don't know what he was planning on doing down there. It kind of looks like he's going to suck on her toes. But you know who that attracts? The croc! The croc said, hold on. If anybody's sucking on anybody's toes around here, you better believe it's gonna be the most sexually aggressive reptile. So he eats the boy, and then he eats the girl, all while this lone, terrified girl watches on in horror. I love how casually she rides away. She is in no rush. Ah, a killer croc! I gotta go get help! But I shouldn't go too fast. I gotta focus on me. I gotta take care of myself first.
My sister.
No, good call. No need to give any credence to the girl who literally saw them get eaten by an alligator. Yeah, she was probably just making it up. She probably just wanted attention. She's like curled up in a corner, traumatized somewhere, and they're just like, stop lying! There's no such thing as alligators, you idiot! You killed them, didn't you? During this scene, there's a mysterious man just kind of lurking on the sidelines of the investigation. He's not part of the police. He's just there. and he's mysterious, but it seems like he might have a hunch. And then suddenly the police pull a leg out of the water. What kind of question is that? Maybe she's still alive. It's just a leg. She might not have even noticed it fell out, like a tooth or something. We assumed so. You're a police officer, and you pulled up with like 15 other police officers. I know what it looks like, but no strip club tonight, Jack. Yeah, I know. People are dying. I'm here on official business. Unless... No, dude, we have to catch this crocodile before it kills again. Right, yes, exactly. But what if it's at the strip club? Yo! So the girl that Theo was flirting with at the bar is having a funeral for her cousin. And since everyone thinks it was Jack's crocodile that ate the cousin, they are not very happy when he shows up. He keeps asking, are you okay and what's wrong when everybody doesn't want to talk to him. Dude, somebody died. What's going on? Why is everyone so sad? Hey, where's your cousin? The ugly one.
You need to get these kids out of the water. We've got a croc out here.
What kind of croc?
One that eats people.
Yeah, right.
All right, man, why'd you even ask if you weren't gonna care what he said? He gave you the worst answer you could possibly hear while your kids are in the water, and you were still like, yeah, I don't care. But look, we know from earlier that sure, this movie is violent, but they would never actually show a child getting murdered by a crocodile. No! I think the one thing that's gonna help me kill this thing is being super wasted. God, skewer him, man. So who are all these people anyway? You're way